Hey now, we are live. We're about to do the list critics. We're waiting on Jesse. Oh, actually, he's here. Can you drag him over, or do I need to?
Let's see.
I think I did make sure that you had that ability.
I can't do it for list critics now.
Oh, all right, I got it then. Hey now, Jesse.
Hello?
If you're saying something, we're not hearing you. Oh, you got to turn that that push to talk shit off, I think. Jesse, we are not hearing you. I wonder if he's hearing us. It seems that everybody's been having, I just dropped off, issues with Discord and microphones lately.
Yeah. I keep having to change the levels on you or watching things, and then the next day it'll reset and it'll be deafening.
Yeah. And not long ago, Alice's microphone was just completely not working.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here we go. Hey now, are you here? Jesse?
And
I heard can.
can you hear me?
Yes, I have to make you louder, but yes.
I tried a different key binding with push to talk, and it's not working. So I just hate this.
I understand.
Because,
I understand.
I don't know. The other time, you guys kept hearing something on my end, and it was bugging the hell out of me, and I can't hear anything in this room. So I'm driving myself crazy trying to figure out what it is, and I'm just gonna go. Ugh.
Jesse, just so you know, we are already live. Okay, just so you know, we're sitting here on the starting screen.
Hi.
I haven't put out the word yet, but we are live. Let me put out the word real quick. Now I'm sure you see that EB's here.
Yes, hello, EB.
Elise let me know that she has a devastating migraine and can't make it today, so I asked EV if they wanted to fill in. It was very last minute, but they're willing to, so we have 3 people.
Hey, EB, you're great. Love you. Glad you're here.
Absolutely. EB's the GOAT. EB's the GOAT.
I try.
Alright, I'm posting that I'm live in all the places that I post. Don't need to do it there. Okay. I don't know if you saw me, but they put me on the bot on the Jimquisition channel so that I don't have to post there anymore.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's very nice of them.
Cool.
Because Phoenix reached out and is like, you stream every day. Why don't we just add you to the bot? And I'm like, please, that would be one less thing that I need to do. I'm not super active in there, but I do try to join the conversations when there's something that catches my eye, you know?
I just got a picture of Carl calling for attention.
Again?
No, earlier. I just took a
okay.
screenshot of it.
Carl requires your attention, and it says Carl is stuck near a cliff.
Yep.
That's amazing. By the way, that lock screen, dope.
I've got.
I know you had a
Samus
Samus one before, but that's way cool. The line art.
I like the vectors.
Yeah, the total vector neon Tron sort of thing. You know what is up, June? Penis dunked in bread, indeed. Oh, 15 penises on your head. One fell off. Now it's dead. Penis dunked in bread. I made up the rest of that.
Or is that an original?
No, it's an original from June, and then I expanded it into that. And I remember I did that as a tip note to Barrel once, and it was the confusion was visible.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna put my glasses on.
Oh my! We were talking shit about your ex before you got here, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what about her? By all means.
Well, I was saying about how long it took you to get your records back, and how one of her friends, you basically got her friends in the divorce.
Oh, I love that part.
That's the best part. And how she stolen and grabbed all your shit and sent it to you on the sly like that. That was pretty.
Yeah,
dope.
just in the end though, it's making her friend pay for all of it. If you think about it.
Yeah, no, that is true. Yeah, but you know what? She could work that out with her to reimburse her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish she would, but probably not gonna, because they just don't want to deal with it.
Understandable. You know, it looks like sometimes you just gotta take the hit for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've been there. We've all been there where you just like, fuck it, I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I will give one example without using too many names, but it involves a certain dumbass and some things that were being kept by that said dumbass, and I had to step in and said, I'm dealing with this. I'm going to get your shit back. And I did. So,
and it was done.
Yeah, and it got done. And then the person involved was like, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. And I'm like, that was voluntary. Don't be sorry about it. That was voluntary. I decided to take on the dumbest of asses.
Yeah.
All right. I need to get my pleated jeans in order here. My jeans are currently not pleated because I'm not wearing jeans. I don't wear jeans anymore.
These are my...
I'm wearing sweats only because they're my PJs.
I'm wearing sweats because they're comfortable.
I do that a lot lately because I gotta work my way into fitting my jeans again. Now that I'm off prednisone, I got a lot of weight to lose.
I put that shit in my eyeballs.
Really?
It's in eye drop form. It's Predfort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's to keep the blood vessels from literally eating my eye.
Because apparently that's a thing that blood vessels can do.
That's one of the reasons why with my rheumatoid arthritis, they gotta check my eyes all the time.
Makes sense.
Right?
Well, I guess the answer for that is prednisone.
Yep.
I feel like it's like a Simpsons joke, like with alcohol, but with prednisone. Like, prednisone, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Yeah, put it on it, and they're like, well, you could stay on it for a little while until, the stuff for your rheumatoid arthritis starts working, but it will keep you from healing right, so don't stay on it for long. Unless it makes you gain a ton of weight.
I mean, I know that is a normal side effect of it is the weight gain, yeah.
Yeah. Some of it's water weight, it comes right off as soon as you stop taking it, but a good portion isn't.
Okay. So June is getting buffering, but I can confirm it is not on my end. We're on the third day in a row of good internet today. So I'm sorry to hear that, especially if Firefox is locking up. It sounds like a reboot of both the computer and the router might be in order in that case.
Yeah, I've got the stream up and it's looking pretty streamy.
Well, I've been having some issues the past week and a half, and June said it, and I said the same thing a little while ago. Was that about once a year I have really cataclysmically bad internet problems, and as far as that goes, this was one of the not so crappy ones. Even though it was still very very stressful to deal with, obviously as a streamer, but it seems to like the past 2 days I've not had any issues, so.
Yeah, you'd have to have somebody come out there 5 million times again.
Or refuse to come out.
Hey.
That's even worse, right?
Yeah.
Dealing with these people on the phone, oh my god, the last time they got me so upset. But anyway, I do have some cool lists. There were a lot of lists that were submitted this time.
Yes.
And of course we have the usual, the jeans that are pleated. But yeah, I just don't wear jeans. I never liked wearing denim pants as a kid and whatnot. It's just very uncomfortable to me. I think it's a sense.
You never tried on a Canadian tuxedo?
No, I never did that. I never did. Although I did have a jean jacket in the 90s.
Yes. Yeah,
Because
you did.
Everybody had one, right?
I have a picture of me like on my first day of school at kindergarten, and I'm wearing jeans, a jean jacket, jean shirt.
That's Canadian formal wear.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Maine might as well be Canada.
I had
plug.
Yeah.
I had this pair of jeans in the 90s that just had buckles everywhere. They didn't do anything. They were just there.
It's aesthetic. It's like even the X-Men were weird belts and jackets that were. Did you see that X-Men meme that I posted, Jesse?
I have not. What
Look
is
in
it?
the meme suppository. You'll see it. Just scroll up just slightly. It's the last thing posted. And I know, EB, don't feel bad that you didn't get it, because honestly, I had to stare at it a little while myself before and then I got it, and I was like, I have to post this.
It's like, I think that's what I know is spit roasting.
Oh, it's from the X-Men 97, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I might have to watch this.
I have seen, and it is fantastic.
I might have to watch this as a big Magneto fan, because apparently he's actually in the X-Men where he should be.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta grab a water. I'm like reaching for water and I don't have any. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna grab a water and then we'll get started. So, take over. Go full Planet of the Apes. I don't care. I'll be right back.
Lunatics are taking over the asylum.
They probably run it better. They know it better than any of the guards.
Yeah. Ages ago, I read the short story that was from.
Oh, that's from something. I thought it was just a saying.
Apes together, strong.
Something like the curious, something like the curious trial of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather.
Interesting name.
Apes together, strong.
The part I remember, the Dr. Tar and Professor Feather. I'm trying to look up the exact title, but the end of it, the revelation is that they've actually imprisoned all the doctors and they're all the actual patients.
Hey, Moogle.
That's kind of cool.
So, did you get it, Jesse?
Yeah, something about the Eiffel Tower.
So you didn't get it.
I don't know. Am I visually missing something, maybe?
No, it's I'll put it into terms that I know you'll get. Is it Gambit and Rogue want to do the wobbly H? Yep. With Magneto.
Oh. And that look he's given at the end, like, oh.
Magneto's like, wait a minute. I never said he wanted to see the Eiffel Tower.
So, the story is called The System of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather, and it's actually a Edgar Allan Poe story. I was like, really? Because it's actually funny.
Oh, Snapple.
It's supposed to be. Apparently, it's a dark comedy.
Okay. Will you guys let me know in the chat how the volume levels are with EB and Jesse?
How do I sound?
I did make you louder, and then I made you less loud. So
after my mini freak out.
Well, you're good. Don't worry about the freak out.
Yeah.
No, Moogle says it sounds good. I might have to make EB slightly louder.
Testes 1 2 1 2 3.
1 2 3. Wait a minute. Wait, man.
That was in one of the Austin Powers movies. He was like taking his balls. He goes 1 2 3. Okay.
Yeah, 1
Dr.
2
Evil.
3, and we're good.
Yes.
Necro, I gotta tell you, you might be a little proud of me here. I went to Montreal for just a few days for fun, and
I saw the pictures and such. Yeah.
Yeah, and we went to the Biodome, and they had it.
You did the thing, didn't you?
What thing?
The thing you're about to tell me, I think. All right, tell me.
There was a beaver exhibit, and they were building a dam. And
is this a goddamn?
I said it out loud.
Nice.
Yep. And I got one person laughing.
It's funny. I mean, close the damn door, Bart. You know that Mike Judge has said several times that he'll get people coming up to him that'll say that is like the greatest joke. That is so good, and to him is like it was just a throwaway line. He didn't think that it was going to be as popular as it was.
It is a throwaway, but it's like, funny.
It's memorable. We all remember. Is this a goddamn? Goddamn. No. The funny thing to me is how nobody reacts to it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you guys ready to start?
Yeah.
I'm about ready.
All right, so we're going to come over here. We're going to kill the lo-fi beat girl thing, and yeah.
No, not to kill her, just put her away.
We're just killing the feed. Okay, so welcome to the List Critics Remastered. Unfortunately, Elise informed me that she has a debilitating migraine, and I know all about debilitating migraines. I had one like a week and a half ago. I had to stop a stream in the middle of it to lay down, so fully understandable. Hopefully, Elise feels better real soon.
And our good thoughts.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. That being said, let's start as we normally do with whatever they're calling Tumblr Gets Deep these days.
Let's get deep.
Oh man, where did it go? Did I close it? Did I
don't know.
Did I lose it?
Only you can answer that question.
Yeah, okay, I found it. I got it. All right, so it's 34 funny Tumblr comments that made us remember why we love it there. Wait a minute, is this the one we did last time? I think it is. Oh no! Do I not have a new one? Hold on.
No.
I'll find one. I will make it
say.
happen. We're doing it a week early, and they tend to post these towards the end of the month. I've noticed is posted on March 22nd, February 28th, like that. So I think we missed the train on that, but I'll just grab an old one that we haven't done, maybe.
Do that, or just like go to r/Tumblr and read whatever's on top.
No, we need them to be curated by people who are gonna filter out all the fucked up shit, right? we need to curate. Let's see.
Luke says Tumblr gets stoned.
I mean, that is what it really is. Yo, what up, Wayne? Good old Tumblr, indeed.
It's almost 420, guys.
It is.
I mean, we're getting there. You know that EB is going to be completely blazed, right?
Blaze.
Few gummies left, yeah. So
I'm going to be playing Pokemon Go, and
I gotta go restock my gummies. Sorry.
EB is going to be playing Pokemon. No, going to Pikachu on acid. Y'all ever see that?
I saw it. You showed it to me. Also, the Adventures of Bellsprout.
And the fact that on 420 they are featuring the weed Pokemon Bellsprout, which is Pokemon number 69 in the National Dex.
Nice.
They knew what they were doing.
They did.
They knew what they were doing.
They're just kind of renegades over at Niantic, I guess.
They totally are. Okay, so here I have 30 truly amazing posts from the worst of Tumblr page.
From the worst.
Yeah. We know how much you like worst lists, Jesse, so let's get with it.
I love a worst. Yeah. A bratwurst.
Wow, those are good too. Number 1 shows this picture of this very concerned-looking cat, and it says, every day of vacation our house sitter could not find her. This is 3 seconds after we got home. That sounds accurate.
Yeah.
If you remember, my sister had a cat that, like, for years I just not had met. I have since met the cat, though.
Maybe.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think we've done this one too. You know what? I don't think I'm going to find one that we haven't done. Because I just realized that sounded familiar, and the next one was the one with the bear testing the honey. All right. Here's one from last year. So you know what? If we've done it before, hell with it. It was last year. We're doing it again.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Bringing it back.
35 funny times Tumblr users left the perfect comment. Number 1, Manat says, a girl's voice in game chat is more powerful than any U.S. Marine. And then, did you get mysterious images? Says, fun story, maybe. When I was younger, my brother was super duper into Call of Duty, and he's actually really freaking good at it. So one day he gave me his mic headset and told me to talk while he was playing, and it was wild. The levels of salt that young men produce when under the impression that a little girl is destroying them in COD is a beautiful thing. That's amazing.
Kids just have more time to get better at video games, you know?
Well, she's not the one playing, though. That's the thing. The brother's playing.
No.
But it's funny.
I know,
yeah.
I get it. But
but they're like, oh, you're a girl. And like, yeah, and I just shot you. There was a story that June had about, not Call of Duty, but a similar sort of game that somebody said something like, how many times are you going to shoot me, whore? And the answer was, as many times as I see you.
I mean, yeah.
Number 2, Loch Nessie says, can we as millennials and Gen Zs collectively agree that nobody cares about elbows on the table? Like, why was that ever a problem for anyone? We can chill, right? And then Insider Chrysalis Writhing says, but chewing with your mouth open is still gross and bad. Keep that locked up. I agree. I agree on both points. It produces a sound. It produces a sound that is like probably one of the worst sounds out there.
Yeah, you don't even have to have misophonia to hate that.
Yeah, we should definitely keep it. But I agree on both points. If you want to put your elbow on the table, I am not going to be offended by it because I am busy eating. I'm not paying attention to what your elbows are doing.
And when did that like, what does that even stem from? How is it rude?
It probably stems from some very aristocratic thing where you have 5 different forks, and if you use the wrong one, you get guillotined.
Yikes. You become the next meal.
Okay, number 3 shows a cartoon of a guy apparently killing another guy on top of a moving train. And it says, you've solved the trolley program. You've killed the person responsible for tying all those people to trolley tracks. It's finally over. And then E. Sumra says, wow, so you're telling me you took an action that resulted in the death of one person to save the lives of many people who would have died if you did nothing? That sounds so familiar. To be fair, you're at least getting the person who is putting people on train tracks like Snidely Whiplash. Yo, what up, Tyrannical? How's it going?
You're ending all trolley problems from here on out.
My answer to all was just multi-track drifting.
There you go. There you go. You know what? Just turn on no clipping mode, and there you go. Number 4, Shower Thoughts official says Pinocchio could tell us so much about the universe. He could randomly claim things like the Big Bang happened, and his nose would confirm or deny our theories. And then Strike You Out says Pinocchio is not omniscient, you stupid fucking Redditors. His nose grows when he's intentionally being dishonest. And then Exuent Pursued by a Bear says things heating up in the Pinocchio fandom.
I've actually heard somebody read that one before, not here.
What would really trip people up is if Pinocchio said something that he thought was a lie, but was actually true, and then his nose still grew.
I saw a comic strip like that where he's like, I have to try it, and Jiminy Cricket's like, don't do it, kid. And he goes, this statement is a lie. And like his nose went like backwards through his face. All right, number 5, Mamoru says, I have a very annoying neighbor. Can someone teach me trumpet? And then Dragon Age says, that's the best part. You don't need to learn to play trumpet to annoy them. Just try your best and have fun. And Mamoru says, oh, wow, you're so right. Thank you. Wouldn't it actually be extra annoying if the person wasn't good at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Like, EB, I know you have the neighbor that occasionally plays the piano and then it doesn't really bother you at all, but I mean, if they were terrible, it probably would bother you, right?
Oh, yeah, it would. No,
what do they play?
She's usually playing just regular classical pieces. Usually around October, she starts doing Christmas ones.
There you go. Well, Jesse's a pianist as well. And he plays the piano.
You got to start learning the Christmas stuff September or October because that shit gets difficult.
Well, you got to start learning it before Mariah Carey comes and consumes your soul.
Yeah.
That's an inevitability of the world. I'm sorry.
You could ward her off with your extra festive version. All right, I hate Chick-fil-A, based username, by the way. Posts a tweet from Java Young White who says, why do paintings of people centuries ago never show pimples? You're telling me these people who drank shit water and took baths 2 times a decade had clear skin? And then Survivably So says, they had an amazing filter called I'm the One Paying You.
Hey,
That's true.
I mean, why would you... Like, seriously, if you're getting your portrait painted, you're probably, like, paying a lot of money for it. So you'd be like, hey, make me look good. Right?
Like the ultimate permanent glow up.
Yeah, right? There's no better Instagram filter than I'm paying you to paint me the way that I want to look.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 7, Nasfera2 says, I wish Americans fucked more with foreign music. You don't have to know the language to appreciate a good record. Folks in other countries listen to our music and don't speak a lick of English. Music needs no translator. And then Lil Timmy says, y'all won't trick me into listening to K-pop.
It's all about that K-pop.
Hey, look. No, I agree, though, with the broader point that I don't need to understand the lyrics to enjoy it, although I do tend to, especially if, on the more heavier side of music, I want to know what they're singing about, because some bands are singing about some fucked up shit that I don't condone.
Yeah, there's some fuck shit stuff out there that you don't want to be jamming to.
Yeah, exactly. I was just listening to one of my old favorites of black metal called Vindir. Nobody speaks the language that they're singing because it's like some, it's like old Finnish, so it's like, yeah, exactly. But I know that they're singing about like old battles and folklore and elves and shit, not about, kill people that don't look like us, so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the guy who was basically the entirety of that band died at a very young age. He was 24 years old. And before you say anything like, oh, what happened? Drugs, murder, the typical metal stuff? No. He was hiking in Finland to somebody's house and got caught in a snowstorm and fucking died.
Oh my god.
Scandinavia things.
I hate to say it, but you could write a song about that.
Yeah. Grim and cold.
Ugh.
All right, number 8 is a picture of a Pokeball for some reason. It says, today I learned that in 2002 a researcher found that the average 8-year-old British child could identify 80% of Pokemon but only 50% of common wildlife species. And then Saravia says, excellent username for this, common wildlife species don't normally yell their names at you.
Or have a catchy song that features all 151 of them.
Hey, Alice. Yeah. Somebody around the time that Generation 7 came up made an updated poker app that had all like 600 and whatever the hell it was.
God.
Yeah, it was
I remember
something.
that.
And it's like now we're on Gen 9 and there's over 1,000 Pokemon. So, how was well, I know how the movie was, but how was the experience, Alice? Because Alice went to see Interstellar in the theater. One of my favorite movies. Number 9. Nix5 here says, I prefer guys who make small dick jokes about themselves over guys who make big dick jokes about themselves. Dryad says, I got a medium dick. It can talk to ghosts.
Nice.
Princess Leia says, I nearly spat out my tea. Nice.
I nearly spat out my dick.
Oh.
Go.
Dear. There are layers there. Number 10, Love Me, Don Lothario says, if you're a game designer and you force me to kill wolves and you have them make sad puppy noises, I'm killing you. And then
That's not cool.
Yeah. And then Flo Hasdid says, see, this never happens in Spider Solitaire for Windows. It'd be fucked up if it did. It would be fucked up if it did. Oh, it was incredible. Nice. All right, number 11, Maximum Overboner says, in primary school, we had a creative writing assignment where we had to write about a character in a new strange situation. And I wrote about a squid that was somehow teleported from the ocean floor to the forest floor and slowly choked to death for 2 pages. And I'll never quite forget my teacher's face because it turns out that she wanted this new school is scary, I hope I make friends, and not a graphic description of a squid dying. And then Bungie Wungie says what I hope we're all thinking, I'm definitely thinking it, which is, well, that's just the risk you take if you decide to teach creative writing.
It's a good one.
When you tell kids to be creative, you are unleashing a genie.
You are inviting chaos.
Yeah, and you're just going to hope that it's like a nice Robin Williams genie and not, this.
A gin.
Yeah. Number 12, Vitoya says, even if you don't like Halloween, you have to appreciate its position as the sole thing keeping Christmas from advancing even earlier into the year like a cancerous growth. And then Vox...
It's still finding its way.
Yeah, it does, but if not for Halloween, it would be a lot worse. I think. Vox Machina says, the goth kids hold the line. And we thank you for your service, goths. Number 13... do you ever cycle through the same 4 apps on your phone over and over again and feel like a tiger pacing its cage at the zoo? And then Tara Tamardi says, if you're doing this, it's because you, like the tiger, need enrichment and variety in your life. May I suggest cramming just a whole bunch of raw hamburger into a pumpkin and rolling it around your enclosure? And then Meme Whore just posts, pupils dilate. What would be the human equivalent of the pumpkin full of meat?
I don't know, set this something, stick your dick in it.
Yeah, I was thinking it would definitely involve porn.
Was it Clerks where they had a big conversation about trying to suck your own dick?
Yeah, well, yeah. There was
I could never reach.
I could never reach.
What,
So you
dick?
tried it. You
Fucking
tried
pervert.
it. That was when they were driving to the funeral.
Yeah.
Oh. When we watched Mallrats, I was just so aghast at how bad it was, and I was like, why couldn't he just make more Clerks?
He did.
I know. I still haven't seen the third one, and I heard it's really good, but it's just like every time I try to watch one of his other movies, I'm just like, God, this sucks.
But I just write dialogue for a living.
I keep giving him a chance, though, so it's on me. Number 14, Mihail, I don't know, there's some letter in there that I don't recognize. So today I found out that I'm allowed to carry a knife with me to a school as long as it's smaller than 3.5 inches, but I still can't show my shoulders, and then if that's not a perfect description of American schooling, I don't know what is. And then Vicky the Pixie says, cover your shoulders with knives. And then T. Crump says what I'm sure Jesse is thinking, shoulder blades.
Yep. Damn it.
And Alice even said the same thing, shoulder blade.
Yep.
Right before I said it. It was posted in the chat. Number 15, Chef Pyro says, European culture is hating all other European nations. I think that might just be British culture, but let's go on. And then they say, like, yeah, we're at peace, we're cooperating, no tensions or anything, but if I have to talk to a goddamn Belgian... And then insane...
That's why they're so sarcastic.
Yeah. Insane Artist of Legacy System says, waffles are greater than min mills. And Chef Pyro says, I will annex you.
Yep.
Hey, Sarah.
Scandinavian countries all bash on each other, too.
Yeah, but they tend to do it in a really memey, sort of wholesome way. Like, you could tell it's a joke.
Yeah.
You ask a British person about what they think of a soccer game involving another country, and you're going to hear curse words that you didn't know existed. Number 16 shows a picture of what appears to be a German Shepherd being sworn in at court, like putting its paw on a Bible and everything. And boy, is this deep fried. This is hard to read. Seifukukat says, Google dog swearing and wasn't disappointed. And then Sleepy Brown Eyes says, his fucking look of determination, like, you're going to fucking jail, Greg. The text
So help you,
part of
dog.
I mean, my glasses are dirty. I do have to wipe them, but it's so deep fried, this image, that it's so hard to read the text. All right, number 17. Is it a headline here? Placer County man punches bear in the face to save his dog. And then, this is a real username on Tumblr, GayDicks420. They went for it. If you were thinking you were going to be GayDicks420 on Tumblr, it's taken.
Forever 12 years old.
Every time I see this post, I kind of want to cry. Like, look at how little that dog is. It's like a little chihuahua.
Aww.
It's so small. It was so defenseless, and the dude fucking punched a bear to save it. Does that dog know? Does it know how loved it is? I want someone to love me that much. I want to be that small. And then Osen says, I agree with GayDicks420. It's a sentence.
It's funny every time.
It's a sentence that you may not know that you would have the opportunity to type, but there it is.
Yeah.
All right, number 18 shows this picture of this dude with a cat across the shoulders, and Humans of Newark. Oh, it's from Humans of New York, and it says, I found him in the trash. I named him Shadow because he followed me everywhere. And the real DJ Quail says, the cat can talk?
I was going to say, it was
Yeah.
cat's name.
Yeah, like, who's saying this? The guy or the cat? You know?
Could go either way.
Oh dear. Got it for cheap. I almost wanted to say go tit for cheap, but shows this picture of I don't like this, and I'll tell you what. Please, can we stop taking pictures of people in a bathroom? Public bathrooms.
Yeah.
Don't take pictures. This lady's at like the sink washing her hands, and there's like a line of toilet paper going from the back of her pants like into the stall.
Oh.
And it's not across the floor, it's like a tether.
Oh.
And it just says Gravity 2013. Well, it's a good thing that that's not Gravity, because otherwise Sandra Bullock never would have made it.
That's a movie I can never watch.
Well, I don't.
No?
I don't recommend you watch. I liked it, but I'd probably never watch it again just because fuck that guy who directed it. But
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but
If you don't know, Jesse, I have
Yeah.
like a very specific phobia that Gravity basically is about, which is I don't like the thought of being in space and then being not tethered to anything.
Oh,
Like,
is it a
if I-
control thing?
If I'm not touching the ground, I freak
Mm.
out. Like if I'm in a
Yeah.
plane, I freak out. If I'm on top of a really tall building, I don't.
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
EB has to be connected to the Earth
Yeah.
directly in some way.
We all should be connected to the earth.
Hands
The
across
original
America.
MILF, Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody talks about MILFs. What about the original MILF, Mother Earth? All right, number 20, a headline from France. Chinese billionaire takes staff of 6,400 on vacation to Paris. Nice. Oh, it's Paris, Nice, but it looks like it says nice.
Nice.
And Basquate coffee mug that says very deep fried. Took me a minute to realize Nice is a place in Paris and not some commentary on the story. Come here, bro. Nice. All right, number 21 shows somebody making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but instead of just spreading the peanut butter and the jelly evenly across the entirety of the bread, They would try to be cute, make little hearts out of both of them in the center.
Uh,
And it says, okay, no. Fucking no. You think your sandwich is cute with peanut butter and jelly hearts, fucker? Well, you'll change your mind once you put it together and try to eat it. First, you'll get just a mouthful of just bread and disappointment. Then when you take another bite, your mouth will be assaulted by the copious amounts of sticky peanut butter and sugary jelly, and there won't be enough bread to save you from it. A sandwich like that is what failure tastes like. This PB&J may be shaped like hearts, but there's no love in that sandwich. It's about balance. Life needs balance, and so does your fucking sandwich. You disgust me. Don't talk to me until you know how to make a proper sandwich. I feel like Jay should be reading this.
what happened to this person?
They probably
It's a
got
sandwich.
a sandwich like. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to eat that. I'll be real.
Yeah, but damn, that's a little hardcore for a sandwich.
Of course, sandwich discourse is not for the faint of heart, Jesse.
Mm.
There was a part in there, bread and disappointment made me think of, hey, Steven, what are you eating? Macaroni and nothing.
Yeah.
All right, number 22 shows a picture of Charizard breathing fire and Blastoise blasting water and Venusaur just chilling. And it says, what the fuck is Venusaur doing? And then somebody replies, his best.
That's
His best.
Aw.
always the response to that.
He's waiting for the next turn when Solar Beam comes in, you know?
He's
doing
gonna take
the
out
thing.
that Blastoise.
Yeah. Number 23 is the exact same post, so I don't know what that's all about.
He's doing the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Number 24 shows a picture. It says Snape, snail tape. And Huggles Forever says, oh, $4. Thank you for the bits, Sarah.
Hey.
This is not what I pictured Snape looking like when I read the book. Okay, this would be better, though. Let me show it on screen. This would be preferable to the Harry Potter thing. Let's just... isn't that cute? Who doesn't want a tape dispenser like that?
Oh,
Aw.
Isn't that
Yeah.
great? It's a little snail tape.
well, I see it. That is
Yeah,
cute.
that's adorable. Who wouldn't want?
Yeah.
I bet they have those on like Etsy or something.
Now
All
they
right.
do.
Number 25 shows a screenshot from, I think it's The Sims, and Sims Gone Wrong says my sim went into labor and just walked across town to the hospital.
Yeah.
No, I got shit to do.
And then Sweet Egalitarian Cherry says, making my way downtown, faces pass, constricting fast, and I'm mom bound. I wasn't about to sing it. Yeah, I wasn't about to do the thing. Okay, I've seen this one. Number 26 shows a Google search with the suggestions of how to finish it, and it says help I'm and then the number 1, right? And the suggested searches are help I'm 14 and pregnant, help I'm 11, help I'm 12 and pregnant, and help I'm 15 and pregnant. And you have Vernell. I think it's supposed to be you have mail, but they couldn't get it, so they put an R and N together to make it look like an M. It says, can we please just take a moment to recognize the poor people that need help purely because they are 11 years old?
I'm
All the
11.
rest of them could have been
Period.
my mom at any point.
No, that's true.
What?
Right. Oh, my God. All right, number 27 shows this. You know what? I'm just going to show it on screen because there's no way to describe this that makes sense. Look at this. That's terrible. And Kelp Forest Dweller says, well, I'm glad this terrifying pit into the abyss is wheelchair accessible.
What am I looking at here? It's like, what is that?
It's a
Something
ramp
out of-
going into Satan's asshole.
Looks like
Oh yeah, it's like
something
a
out of
spiral.
Junji Ito manga or something.
Oh, my God. Like,
Oh, yeah,
miss
that-
me with that
That's
shit.
some weird pictures.
Miss me with that shit. All right, number 28 shows a picture of what is going on here. It looks like a bat in somebody, like a little bat in somebody's hand, and they're giving it an ultrasound. Oh, that is what it is. Lizzing with Chris says, pregnant ghost bat having an ultrasound at Featherdale Wildlife Park. And then the world is an apple, you are a seed says, congrats, it's a bat. And Toothpass posts, delighted bat noises.
Duh.
That is cute, though.
Little clicky
you
squeakies.
want to see it? All right, I'll put it on the screen, Sarah.
Yeah.
I try not to do this too much, but this is cute.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, I'm taking it off now.
Oh.
Aw.
Okay.
Wow, that's a small ultrasound. Way to go.
They probably have them like for animals like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 29 shows a picture that says, "What if he's your Romeo, but you're not his Juliet?" And then Rehnquist says, "That means you're his Rosaline, and you survive the friggin' play."
Huh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, number 30 shows an article that says 5 reasons you should be helping your wife clean house. It may not be much fun initially, but payoff is more than you'd imagine. And
I
then
know this one.
Commander VR Clark puts a top 5 list of the same thing 5 times in a row that says, "You fucking live here."
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good reason to clean the area because you live there, right?
Yeah.
Number 31, Adol says, "Guys, help me. Something really fucking weird happened. I need an explanation that is not aliens. I was just sitting on my laptop chilling, and I saw this one years ago. I was just sitting on my laptop chilling and whatnot with my TV on in the background. When the TV sound cuts out, so I look up at the TV. That's a picture of my laptop on my bed, taken right where I was sitting. What do I do?" And somebody replies with, "You dead?" And then somebody else replies with, "You hella dead." So it's obviously fake, but what it appears to be, you would think that the laptop is just interfering with the TV and the TV is displaying what the laptop sees, but it actually looks like it's displaying the person's perspective of looking at the laptop.
Oh.
But it's come on, you photoshopped it, right? Oh,
Dude,
he dead.
I hate to break it to you, but aliens.
Yeah, aliens. Yeah, there you go. I know that you hate this, Evie, but suddenly aliens.
Yes.
Number 32, Sword Fight says, "I've never wanted to eat a leaf more than I have when watching Land Before Time movies." They'd make it seem like they really enjoyed those fucking leaves.
A lot of movies to go through to come to that conclusion.
Well, I don't know if they watched all, like, fucking 27 or whatever it is, you know?
God.
There
All
are
right.
like averages. I don't know.
Number 33 shows 2 old-timey drawings of 2 young boys. One is looking very pleased with himself, and the other is looking very upset. And it says, "Which boy do you think got enough sleep?" And Professor Go says, "The guy on the left," which is the angry one, "since he shows clear disgust with having his picture taken suddenly without permission. The guy on the right has had so little sleep that his grip on reality and emotions has left him." Fair. Number 34 shows a picture of a dog sitting at a desk with an open book, and it's got its paw on the book, doing something important. And Shit's Hilarious says, "Damn it, Susan, I said get me that expense reports, not sit around with your thumb up your ass." No, it's a Goldie, Sarah. Number 35, Official Pigeon. This is the Official Pigeon Tumblr right here. That says, "You can literally answer 'That's what the government wants you to think' to anything." And then Coloring says, "That's what the government wants you to think."
I knew it. I knew it. It was the
that
government all
was
along.
the last one, right? Suddenly aliens should be suddenly the government.
Yeah.
Out of 35, how are you feeling, folks?
Hmm.
I'll admit I heard some of these, a lot of them before, but I'm going to
Me
give
too.
it a 28.
I mean, I did have to mine for an old one because we're doing it so early. I mean, if I'd known that Elise wasn't going to be here anyway, we'd have just done it next week. But
I'm feeling a 27.
I'm going to agree with EB on this one and go with
All right.
28. Yeah. Now, not that it's that far off from what you said. All right, let's go over to the List Critics channel because there is we were inundated with submissions this time.
We have a glut of lists.
That word sounds so vaguely dirty. Glut.
Yeah,
Like-
it
Yes.
does.
Like it's some genital that we haven't discovered yet. The glut.
The glut.
Yeah, you ask your partner, "Do you want to do glut stuff?" And they're like, "Well, I've never done glut stuff before." And
Like in the glut?
would you like to try glut stuff? You know, it's a whole discussion. Sarah says, "The glut, the final frontier."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one's from EB Agent, who's here with us, but who cares? I mean, I did one of my own lists on this, so.
Hey, all right.
So
Okay.
EB Agent, at J, if you're wondering which EB Agent, says the best.
Agent J here.
Yeah. Best FMV games released in the last 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that there's been 5 FMV games released in the
Oh, I probably could have done a top 10 list.
Yeah.
I just could only think
Oh.
of 5 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of FMV games.
Really?
I'm looking forward to this
That's
list.
amazing because I feel like we all as a society decided these games sucked in the 90s,
Yep.
and now they're
Now
back.
there's the production quality to actually do them right, too.
Yeah. Almighty said that they still make those. Bonus here is Black Mirror Bandersnatch, marketed as an interactive movie rather than as a game. Okay, so number 5 is, this is an amazing title though, the Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker.
Oh, I like the title.
Yeah. Number 4 is the one that Alice just mentioned, The Bunker. I barely know her. Number 3 is Late Shift. Why does that feel like it's like a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff kind of thing?
It's not.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's not. Number 2
Maybe
is...
do you get to play as like a late night host? That would be awesome.
Oh my god, like that movie, The Late Shift.
Yeah.
You play as David Letterman, and you're not going to get the Tonight Show, but you got to try the best you can. Number 2 is Her Story. We've heard enough of history. Now it's time for Her Story.
That one was probably one of the earliest in the modern FMV genre.
And number 1 is At Dead of Night.
That one was so good because it actually managed to make all the gameplay FMV too.
Oh,
You could do a lot of stuff.
I gotta look into these because
You really have to do that.
I've even kickstarted a FMV game that I'm still waiting on. So I'm looking forward to this.
I am sworn off of kickstarting video games from now on. I'm not going through another Bloodstained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, we just refuse to send you your backer reward for 7 years.
Ay.
And why, we'll never let you know. We'll just send you in circles.
Yeah. So Bort posted. Bort always gives us such interesting lists, almost always related to fighting games, and it's ranking every Capcom fighting game from worst to best.
Holy, how many?
Well, there's 52 of them because he's only counting North American releases that were directly developed by Capcom, not ones that they just published. And this is because I'm going through like the whole history of Capcom fighting games on Mondays, and I'm doing more than these because I'm doing stuff they published. I'm doing Japanese releases, but let's see if you guys had to guess, what is the best and worst Capcom fighting game?
I think I accidentally looked at this list because I didn't expect to be
Well,
here.
you didn't know you were going to be the host, but Jesse, what do you think?
Maybe best. I don't know. One of the Marvel vs. Capcom. Maybe 2.
I mean that's a strong choice. I mean, personally for me, it's like Third Strike is the best. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
There are many Capcom fighting games I have not played.
Alice thinks the worst is Street Fighter the movie, but I played both because there's 2 games called Street Fighter the movie, and I played both of them. And I have to say,
isn't the PlayStation one kind of good?
Yeah. Well, I played it on Saturn, but yeah, it's not terrible. The arcade one it's not good, but I think Street Fighter 1 is the answer.
Yeah, yikes.
All right, well, let's see. So I'll go by tens. The first one will be 12, so then we'll stop and comment.
Okay.
So number 52 is Street Fighter 1. Number 51 is Street Fighter the movie. He doesn't specify which version. Number 50 is Capcom Fighting Evolution. Number 49 is Final Fight Revenge. Number 48 is Heavy Metal Geomatrix. Number 47 is Red Earth. Number 46 is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Number 45 is SNK vs. Capcom The Match of the Millennium. Number 44 is Onimusha. I think he means Onimusha. Onimusha Blade Warriors. Number 42 is SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos. Number 42 is Street Fighter EX3. And number 41 is Beautiful Joe Red Hot Rumble. Okay, let me give my thoughts here, because I have a few things to say. First of all, I just played Final Fight Revenge for the first time, and the game is actually pretty dope.
Really? I've heard it being shit on all the time.
I had a lot of fun. I've never heard of Heavy Metal Geomatrix. I don't even know what that is. It is, but I don't even know what that is. Is it on my list? Should it be on my list? What is it?
Let me look it up. Sounds like it might be affiliated with like the comic or the movie.
I just brought it up. It's on the Dreamcast. And it was made by Capcom. Huh.
Nothing to do with like the movie or the comic.
It's like I didn't put it on the list because it's like an arena fighting game. Like it's like a Power Stone kind of thing.
I like Power Stone.
Okay. The two SNK versus Capcom games that are on here were not made by Capcom.
I was gonna say if
Were
they
they made by
SNK
SNK?
first.
Yeah, those are SNK games.
They have SNK in the name
yeah.
first. Those are the ones
Yes,
SNK.
absolutely correct. So those are not Capcom games. They had
Hmm.
permission to use the Capcom characters, and also they're kind of better than what he's giving them credit for. Beautiful Joe Red Hot Rumble is also not on my list because it's like a Smash Brothers clone.
Oh, you're
It's
looking for
probably-
just pure like
Yeah.
life bars and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Means it's probably featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
Wait,
I mean,
he was in Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, that's why
Wait.
I was thinking that.
Oh wait, Virgil was. Virgil was in the first one.
I think Trish was in one of them too.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments here before we move on?
Engine a go-go, baby.
Beautiful Joe was a dope game. All right, number 4 is Fate Unlimited Codes. Number 39 is Street Fighter EX2. Number 38 is Plasma Sword. Number 37 is Spawn in the Demon's Hand. Number 36 is Saturday Night Slam Masters. Number 35 is Ring of Destruction Slam Masters 2. I don't know what's going on there. Number 34 is Mega Man The Power Battle. Number 33 is Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters. Number 32 is Street Fighter EX. And number 31 is Darkstalkers.
On what in the devil's hand?
Apparently, this isn't something that Bort wrote. It was made by a YouTuber named Totally Tubular Jonathan.
Totally tubular.
I have Spawn in the Demon's Hand. What is that?
It's like, what are you supposed to spawn in the demon's hand?
Oh, that's that
Character.
PlayStation game. That's
You're
not.
telling me a blunt force destroyer?
Are you telling me a shrimp fried this rice?
Telling me a gingerbread this man?
I don't consider the Spawn game or either of the Mega Man games to really be fighting games.
Well, no, but
They're-
they have the Mega Man ones. Looks like it has an aesthetic.
It is, but you can't play 2-player and select any character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. Plasma Sword, I've heard nothing but bad things about. Played it recently. It's good. It's really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's just that it was on the Dreamcast and the graphics were kind of PlayStation graphics.
And
What about the? Sorry, go ahead, Evie.
Didn't Plasma Sword like start life as a Star Wars game?
Well,
before
it's the sequel to Star Gladiator, which was going to be a Star Wars fighting game, and they did not get the license. So then they made a second one, but it kind of bombed. Fate Unlimited Codes I had to look up. I don't know what this is. It says it's a fighting game. Oh, they only published it. They didn't actually make that one. That's why I don't have it on my
Womp
list.
womp.
Well, yeah.
Well, what about the? I want to hear what your opinion is of the Street Fighter EX series because I've never played any of them. They're
Well,
the 3D-ish ones, right?
Yeah. I played the first two so far, and I really like them. Believe it or not, the feel of playing it is very similar to Street Fighter 4.
Oh, I
First
like
two
4.
fighting games I ever played were Tekken 3 and Street Fighter EX plus Alpha.
And you were like a Hanato main, right?
A Hokuto, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. I mean, there's a few that Saturday Night Slam Masters is a wrestling game, and
It's fun.
I mean, it technically, yeah, you could sit there and say that a wrestling game is a fighting game because you are fighting, but it's not a fighting game. You know what I mean?
The second Slam Masters is definitely more of a fighting game. Like you bring down
Yeah.
somebody's health bar and then they're done.
As far as wrestling games go, they are top tier, though.
Mm.
All right, moving on. Number 30 is Super Gem Fighter. Number 29 is X-Men Children of the Atom. Number 28, Marvel Superheroes. Number 27, X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Number 26, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Number 25, Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000. Number 24, Street Fighter Alpha. Number 23, Marvel vs. Capcom. Number 22, Gotcha Force. And number 21 is Street Fighter 5.
Oh, which one's
Wasn't-
Gotcha Force?
I'm looking it up now because I was about to say, what the fuck is Gotcha Force? Oh, that's that really rare game on the GameCube.
Mm.
Wasn't X-Men versus Street Fighter what eventually led to Marvel versus Capcom?
Yep. Gotcha
it-
Force is not a fighting game.
Uh-oh.
I don't know where they're getting that from. Gotcha Force it looks like Battalion Wars.
What?
Where do they get? I don't know why that's on the list. X-Men Children of the Atom is pretty much impossible. I can get to Magneto. I cannot actually beat him. And I have it on the Saturn. I've played it many times. I've never actually successfully won a game.
He's just Master of Magnet.
Yeah, welcome to die.
Yes.
Number 26, though, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. I gotta be honest with you, that one sucks.
Why does that one suck?
It's so bad. It's unbalanced. It doesn't have any new assets. It's just a cheap sort of like, kind of like what like Capcom Fighting Evolution was.
Oh.
It's just bad.
They just threw a whole bunch of their IPs together.
I want to know how Gotcha Force got on this list, though. What the fuck? It's not a fighting game. It's like a third-person shooter.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, Bort can only find the greatest of totally tubular Jonathan lists for us, I guess. All right, number 20 is Night Warriors Darkstalker's Revenge. Number 19 is Tech Romance. It's actually Tech Romancer. Number 18 is Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Number 17 is Cyberbots. Number 16, Street Fighter Alpha 2. Number 15 is Rival Schools. Number 14 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's the one I'm playing right now. Number 13 is Project Justice. Number 12 is Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. And number 11 is Power Stone.
I actually have Tatsunoko versus Capcom, and it is a fun time.
It's a fun game to play, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say it. Rival Schools is ass.
Really? They put a lot of their characters in other games.
Not really. They just, Akira was in Street Fighter 5, and that's about it.
Oh. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know.
Ass.
So JoJo's is pretty fun so far.
JoJo's is awesome. I really like it. I have no idea what's going on, and I don't care, but the actual fighting part is amazing. And there's a character that's just like a fucking dog. Just like a little
dog?
Like just a Boston Terrier that you can play as. And he kicks ass.
That's some Tekken shit right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, here's the top 10. Number 10 is Power Stone 2. Number 9 is Street Fighter 2. I guess we're all the versions all at once, I guess. Number 8 is Darkstalkers 3. Number 7 is Street Fighter Alpha 3. Number 6 is Capcom vs. SNK 2. Number 5 is Street Fighter 3. I guess all of the versions. Number 4 is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Number 3 is Street Fighter 4. Number 2 is Street Fighter 6. And number 1 is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You guessed correctly, Jesse.
Yeah.
You know, Marvel. I was mildly obsessed with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's part of the reason I bought a Dreamcast, and I look back at it now, and I'm like, it's a good game, but it's so fucking unbalanced. It's like,
yeah, if you know who to pick, they're gonna take you for a ride.
I'm gonna take you for a ride. I got a funny story to tell you about that, but there's 56 characters in the roster, and about 6 of them are viable. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you the story, but real quick, out of 52, this is a mess. There's games that should be on the list that are not on the list. There's games that should not be on the list that are on the list. The guy's got terrible taste in certain things, and what? So out of 52, I'm gonna give that I'm gonna agree with what Almighty Santa says. That's a 20.
I'm going to give that a D minus.
D minus. There you go. I think that's like a 31. Is a D minus.
I'll give it like a 26, right down the mid.
Right. Oh, split it right in half.
You bet, like a tree trunk.
Maximilian had a thing where he was playing a version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 where he had hacked the music, where it was like Capcom vs. SNK 2 music. And he's like, "You think this is wrong, chat? You think this is messed up? I once downloaded some person's boot. It was like a, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 new music, and I get to the character select, and instead of, I'm going to take you for a ride, it's ass, titties, ass and titties, ass, titties, titties, ass and titties.
That ain't bad at all.
DJ Assault up in this piece. All right. Another Bort list.
Bort.
No, I wasn't talking to you. My son is also named Bort. Top 10 best guest characters in fighting games by Mr. Top 10 List. Let's hope Mr. Top 10 List is a little bit more reputable than, I love saying this, totally tubular Jonathan.
He may be tubular, but he's faulty.
Do you remember that comedian / magician from like the 80s and 90s who was called The Amazing
Jonathan?
Yeah, this is the supposed upgrade, totally tubular Jonathan. I looked into what happened to The Amazing Jonathan. Apparently he passed away.
That's sad.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay, so this is the guest characters in fighting. What do you think is the best idea, like the best guest character in a video game?
Hmm. It's.
I will tell you, for me, I think that like Mortal Kombat is the king of doing it. And I think that, the very first time that they did it in a major way, having Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat 9 was fucking amazing.
That was pretty
Yeah.
revolutionary.
And it
'Cause they just
opened
went
up the
off from
floodgates.
there.
Yeah. Now it's gone away from horror and into superheroes now, which is interesting.
Does Street Fighter do that? Like 6? Do they have anything weird or different?
No, they had, like I said, they'll bring in somebody from Final Fight or from Darkstalker. Well,
Yeah.
not so much Darkstalkers, but but not from outside sources. Tekken does it a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tekken even had Geese Howard at one point.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah.
They had Tekken 7 had Geese Howard and Akuma and some fucking guy from the Walking Dead and Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, despite the fact that he was already in Soul Calibur.
It's popping up everywhere.
Tekken don't care.
Okay. All right, well, here's the top 10 best guest characters in fighting games by Mr. Top 10 list. Number 10 is Ryu and Chun-Li appearing in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
What, was that game good?
From what I've heard, no.
Yeah.
And they didn't even look like Ryu and Chun-Li. They look like Power Rangers who put Ryu and Chun-Li cosplay on top of the Ranger suits.
That's awesome.
It is kind of funny to look at, though. I think just the aesthetic of it is pretty amazing. Number 9 is Hamaru being in Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur did some pretty weird shit when it came to inviting characters from other series. Like obviously Yoshimitsu was in it from the beginning. Link, a little weird, but it fits, right?
He works.
Yeah. Spawn, kind of fucking weird. The dude from Assassin's Creed, that kind of works. But then they had like Yoda and Darth Vader and all this weird shit, right? Negan from The Walking Dead. Hamaru possibly fits better than any other character.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have a weapons-based fighter, why not have the main character of like the weapons-based fighter, Samurai Showdown?
Oh, that's what that's from. I'm not that familiar.
Oh, Hamaru, yeah. Number 8 is Mai Shiranai appearing in the Dead or Alive series. This is also perfect because Dead or Alive is a series that is basically about titties bouncing.
Yes.
And Mai is a character. I remember EB said, like, wow, they really gave Mai jiggle physics. And I said, well, it's a 2D game, so it's not jiggle physics. It's lovingly hand-drawn titties, like every frame was drawn by somebody. So somebody sat there making sure that the bounce was to their heart's content. When Dead or Alive 1 came out on the Saturn, it had like a mode called Bouncing Breast.
Do you think when they were drawing it, they had to have like a tit nearby just to kind of jiggle it and go, oh, like that? Okay.
They had somebody like, Brenda from accounting. They're like, look, we'll pay you extra. We just need you to stand there and kind of sway.
They'll keep calling her up so that she runs up with her boobs bouncing. It's like, oh, sorry, didn't need you.
Oh, no.
Just do that periodically.
Oh, no. And then she sued them all. So yeah,
like, wait, I recognize that titty bounce.
I meant, I was going more for sexual harassment, but there you go.
Yeah.
Mai in Dead or Alive, I didn't even know she was in Dead or Alive, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Terry Bogard in Fighting EX Layer. This one makes me laugh because Fighting EX Layer. So basically, we were talking earlier about Street Fighter EX. And Street Fighter EX was made by a company called Arika. It was licensed by Capcom, but it was made by Arika. And they had the Street Fighter characters, and then they had all these other weirdos that were like their original characters because they were going to do a fighting game of their own called Fighting EX. And it became Street Fighter EX. So then Arika no longer works for Capcom. Capcom like basically stole all their mechanics for Street Fighter 4 anyway. And they made this game Fighting EX Layer with all of their original weirdos and no Street Fighter characters. And then they introduce a guest character. Is it Ryu? No. Is it Chun-Li? No. It's Terry from fucking Fatal Fury. That is hilarious. That's amazing.
It's kind of a weird get.
It's a big middle finger to Capcom is what it is. Number 6 is Baiken in Samurai Showdown. Baiken's from Guilty Gear, in case you're wondering.
I love the Guilty Gear series. It's crazy.
She looks and acts like a Sam Show character as it is, so it's kind of perfect there.
Yeah.
And didn't they bring Darlie Dagger into oh no, Darlie Dagger's in King of Fighters. I feel like there's a Samsho character in the latest Guilty Gear.
Oh, I don't know the Samurai Shodown series enough.
Number 5 is Akira in Street Fighter V. Yeah. Nobody expected that. Like, oh, this random girl from rival schools, this motorcycle chick is going to be in Street Fighter V. It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Number 4 is Ikiru Hajiziwa from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. Okay, so I haven't played this game. This is like the newer JoJo game. I have no idea who Ikuro Hashizawa is. I would have thought it's a JoJo character. Let me look this dude up. Everything is bringing up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but he's the only non-JoJo character in the game. So what is he from, though? He's from another anime called Boo the Visitor. Oh, I'm sorry, Bao the Visitor.
Boob Visitor?
No, it's Baoh. Bao. It's a manga / anime. He looks like a JoJo's character, so I guess it works. You know, crazy hair and yeah. Number 3, EB mentioned this earlier, Geese Howard being in Tekken 7.
There it is.
Yeah. Number 2 is Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11. Spawn did not fit in Soul Calibur. He absolutely fit in Mortal Kombat 11.
Makes it a little more sense.
Also, getting the original voice actor from the Spawn HBO show to voice him is pretty amazing.
From the cartoon? Oh, man. Okay.
And number 1 is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles appearing in Injustice 2. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's really, they're fun. The interactions they have with the other characters is pretty amazing.
Are they all different?
They are all different. Because it's weird, because the default is that you play Leonardo, and that his trait is to call in the other 3. But you can pick the other 3, and their traits are different, and they're all kind of crappy. Leonardo's the one you want to play as, but you do get like different intros and everything based on which turtle and who they're talking to, and it's like amazing that you basically got 4 DLC characters for the price of 1.
Like, what would Michelangelo have to say to Batman?
You can find out. Just play a Michelangelo versus Batman match and see what they say. Absolutely. I mean, wasn't there a movie that was like Ninja Turtles versus Batman? Or
I watched it. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Bummer. Yeah. Okay, so Alice sent a list of the 11 weird and wonderful lists on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what this is all about. A list of lists, yes.
Real lists. We're going meta.
Okay, so number 1 is list of humorous units of measurement. This wonderful list includes units of length like the beard second, which is the length an average beard grows in 1 second.
Wow.
The sheppy, which is the closest distance at which sheep remain picturesque, approximately 1.4 kilometers. And the smoot, which is the height of Oliver J. Smoot at the time of the measure's invention, or 5'7".
What the hell? These are real.
Wait, you have to be almost 1.5 kilometers away from a sheep for it to be picturesque? Or is they saying that any more than that and they're not picturesque?
Yeah, I think that might be the limit.
Okay, I see.
But this is assuming somebody's got 20/20 eyesight, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Came up with the thing of measurement, whatever his eyesight was.
Yeah. Number 2 is lists of hats and headgear. Why does that exist? Let's say you want a shockingly exhaustive list of things that people wear on their heads all over court history, for your speculative fiction project. Yes, Wikipedia's got that. Here are a few entries under the bonnets heading. There's a bonnets heading in this. And here are just a few things from the bonnets heading, including bonnets for women, cabriolet, capote, soft crown, rigid brim, 19th century, a chip bonnet, I'm not saying that one, a shallow to flat crown, a saucer shaped and worn by tying it on with either a scarf or sash under the chin or at the nape of the neck.
I think American Girl had one of those.
Yeah. There's one of these that is called an ugly bonnet.
Aw, is it ugly?
You'd have to be the judge of that, right?
Yeah,
okay.
To the eye of the beholder, bitch.
Number 3, list of Star Trek races. That had to be on Wikipedia, I guess. It says, "Oh, my lovelies, you're in for a treat. Wikipedians have collected 416 unique races mentioned on Star Trek and categorized them according to which series mentioned each race. From Amazorite to Zorafel, it's all there, and we even brief explanations on various races. For instance, the Antikins are dog-like with snouts, dark fur, and white hair. They applied for Federation membership, but the ruling decision was put off because of their hostilities with their neighbors, the reptilian Selae. In a quest for meat, the Antikin diplomatic team attempted to cook and consume a member of the Selae delegation."
That would
Fucking
be
nerds.
tricky. Likely.
There's Suikoden-style dog people in Star Trek.
Yeah, apparently so.
What the hell episode was that mentioned in?
Ask Moog, he probably knows.
Maybe a book.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Number 4 is list of Justice League members.
that's not that crazy, is
There's
it?
a lot of them?
There was a lot of them. Did you know that Mr. Miracle, Animal-Man, Gnort, and Moon Maiden are all members of the comic book Justice League? Of course you did, because you're a huge nerd. But I bet you didn't know what happened to non-full member Sargon the Sorcerer. Spoiler alert, made honorary in Justice League of America number 99, killed in Swamp Thing, volume 2, number 50. Who am I kidding? You probably knew that too.
Mr. Miracle's not that obscure.
No, he was in the Justice League International, which was a very popular comic, so...
Now, does this also include Justice Society? Or is it only
that's
the
a
League?
separate thing. That's a separate
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
There's members that have been on both. You know, like Superman.
People on both sides.
Number 5, list of common misspellings.
I hope they spelled them right or wrong.
Well, yeah, I hope they spelled them wrong. When you have a global encyclopedia edited by zillions of people, misspellings happen. In this massive list of lists, it's broken up by letter. The incorrect spelling is listed first, followed by the correct spelling, and occasionally a note to it, a section of heinous typos from the H list, such as HOUSR, which is a typo for both hours and house, as an example I give. All right. Number 6, list of causes of death by death rate. I guess if you want to be really morbid.
That'd be fascinating.
I've looked up some pretty morbid lists on Wikipedia.
This one is morbid but interesting. According to this list, based on data from 2002, bladder cancer killed more people than war, at least in 2002. Appearing just below war, syphilis.
Oh, God.
Here are the top 10. Note that most of these are categories rather than individual causes. Farther down the list, you get into very specific causes. So the top 10 for causes of death in 2002 were cardiovascular diseases, infectious and parasitic diseases, ischemic heart diseases, malignant neoplasms or cancer, cerebrovascular disease, which is a stroke, respiratory infections, lower respiratory tract infections, respiratory diseases, unintentional injuries, and HIV and AIDS.
Fun.
Yay. Number 7, list of minor planets named after people.
Okay.
Don't you wish you had an asteroid named after you? Well, here's a list of lucky people who have achieved interstellar fame. Here's a snippet from the film, TV, and theater section. I'm not going to read all of this, but such as 4535 Adam Carolla. 4536 Drew Pinsky. 4659 Roddenberry for Gene Roddenberry. 5608 Olmos for Edward James Olmos. It goes on like that. Yeah.
Kiss my asteroid.
I have to do it, Sarah. I have to do it. These days, more fellas wear bracelets than eat stew.
Huh?
It's something that Adam Carolla tweeted and then declined to explain.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah. Number 8 is list of sexology topics. Hey, it's everything you ever wanted to know about sex but are afraid to Google. This one's a bit racy, but I think I'm safe quoting this portion starting with the letter O minus the actual article links. OBGYN, object sexuality, objectum sexuality, obscene phone call, Obscene Publications Act, obscenity, obstetrics and gynecology, oculophilia, I don't know what that is, oculolinctus, and it just goes on from there. So,
I hope that doesn't mean having sex with your eye.
And you say something that begins with O, boy, to sex. First thing you think of is orgasm.
Orgasm, yeah. But this only goes as far as one night stand, so it doesn't go quite to OR.
You don't want to go to the OR after
I'm going
sex.
to find out what the oculophilia is because we're all wondering.
I hope it's not eye socket sex.
It's a love of crowds or crowded places.
Okay.
It's just like you're just in the middle of a concert and you're like biting your lip like, yeah. All right.
Everybody here right now.
Number 9, list of TV shows by location. Why does that need to exist?
People want to know, like, oh, I live in Chicago. I got to watch all the shows that are
all the Chicago. Ever wanted to know all the TV shows set in a particular city? Yeah, sure you did. Here are a few shows apparently set for a minimum of one episode in Philadelphia, which would include American Bandstand, Hey, 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 It's Fat Albert, Double Dare, 30-something, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Hack, Cold Case, and Parking Wars. There's a show called Parking Wars.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Why? Not why have you seen it. I understand why you've seen it, because when you see there's something called Parking Wars on, you have to be like, what the fuck is this? I need to watch it. But why does it exist? All right.
Because people have money to make a show, and they're like, what the hell do we do?
All right, well, number 10 is list of unusual articles. Wikipedia has a policy against including things just because they're considered unusual. Many of the pages on their list of unusual articles are potential candidates for removal if their subjects don't otherwise fulfill the criteria for inclusion. Here's a snippet of some dryly hilarious articles and their summaries, such as Florence Y'all Water Tower, a northern Kentucky town's unique welcome sign. Free Stamp, a really big stamp in Cleveland, Ohio. Greater Green River Intergalactic Spaceport consists entirely of a deeply rutted, unnamed strip of soil and gravel and a windsock. Interstate 180 Wyoming, an interstate highway with 5 traffic lights that isn't really a highway at all. It goes on like that. There's a lot of it, but there's a few examples. I think they should rename this the list of totally awesome articles, is what the person here says. And number 11, the list of common misconceptions. That's actually a really interesting one, actually.
Yeah.
A disclaimer at the top of this list notes that it's not intended to be exhaustive. This list of misconceptions spans history, science, language, math, religions, you name it. Here are some zingers from the human body and health sections. Waking sleepwalkers does not harm them. While it is true that a person may be confused or disoriented for a short period of time after awakening, this does not cause them further harm. In contrast, sleepwalkers may injure themselves if they trip over objects or lose their balance while sleepwalking. Such injuries are common among sleepwalkers. So that's just one example.
Yeah.
Okay, this was really more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to give this the full 11 out of 11.
Yeah, I might want to read through some of these, you know?
Yeah. Planning on looking at least the last one.
Yeah. Oh, that one's the most interesting one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's another list that Alice gave us from the same site, which is mentalfloss.com, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Mental Floss. Nice.
And this is what 10 classic books were almost called. So I'm going to give you what the book was almost called. Let's see if you guys can guess what the book wound up being called, like what the famous book is.
Okay.
So these are all very famous, very well-known books, and I'm going to give you the title that was almost the title. Okay. So this first one has a bunch of different titles that it went through. I'm going to give you one of them, which is Among Ash Heaps and Millionaires.
The Great Gatsby?
Yes.
Yes!
Yes. Other titles that were considered were Tremalco and West Egg, On the Road to West Egg, Under the Red, White, and Blue, or Gold-Hatted Gatsby. Oh, and also The High Bouncing Lover.
I remember that one, High Bouncing Lover.
Okay. All right, number 2. The original title of this book was going to be The Last Man in Europe.
Huh.
Any guesses? Just shout them out.
Yeah.
War and Peace.
No, it was. That was the original title that wound up being 1984.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty far off from the concept, huh? The Last Man in
Yeah.
Europe. What are you talking about? Okay. This book was originally going to be called... Yeah, literally 1984. This book was originally going to be called The Strike.
The Stand?
No, not
Okay.
The Strike. I'm going to give you guys a hint on this one. The author changed the title from The Strike because she felt it gave away too much plot.
Oh.
And wound up naming it after one of the chapters.
Oh, shit. Well, now I don't know at all.
It was that wound up being called Atlas Shrugged.
Oh, never read it.
And
Don't care.
I've read it, and yeah, I don't recommend it. I
Uh,
don't recommend it at all. Okay, number 4. This famous book was going to be called The Undead.
Dracula?
Yes,
Hey!
absolutely.
All right.
He also considered the dead undead.
That sounds redundant.
Yeah. Atlas sneezed and then shitted and farted. Number 5. This book was going to be called Fiesta.
Fiesta.
And in some foreign nations, it is called Fiesta, but in the English-speaking countries, we call it something else.
Animal Farm.
No, not Animal Farm.
I don't know.
I guess.
It is The Sun Also Rises by F. Scott.
Oh.
Or, I'm sorry, not by Ernest Hemingway.
No.
I said F. Scott Fitzgerald. All right, number 6. This is a little too obvious, but it was originally going to be called Catch 11.
Catch 22.
Yeah, Catch
Yeah.
22. The reason that it was not called Catch 11 was there was a movie in theaters at the time called Ocean's 11.
Oh, the OG.
The original, yeah. So they said, well, just double it then.
And that created a saying.
And yeah, it's a whole it's a whole thing that people say. All right, this one might be too easy, but I think you guys are gonna know this. Number 7. The original title of this novel was Go Set a Watchman.
That was To Kill a Mockingbird.
Correct.
Oh.
It's also what they named the. Well, they found an unfinished manuscript by Harper Lee and published it, and it's awful.
Yeah, the sequel where Atticus is suddenly racist.
Yeah.
What?
That makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
All right, number 5. This very famous book was originally called First Impressions.
Great Expectations?
No.
Oh.
Good guess.
Tale
Though.
of Two Cities?
No, that's closer though.
Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties.
Yes, that is exactly no. It's Pride and Prejudice, actually.
And zombies.
Number 9. The original title of this, for some reason, was Mistress Mary.
Mary. Mary Poppins?
No.
Oh.
It's not as literal as that.
It was a book.
I know it was a book. This was The Secret Garden, actually.
Oh.
All right, number 10. This is the last one. The original title of this, which is an awful title, and I'm glad he changed it, was Something That Happened. That could be the title of every book, right?
Yeah.
Except for the play Waiting for Godot, which would be something that didn't happen.
Well, he waited, so
Something that
it
happened. Yeah, they waited there for a while.
Wasn't something interesting, but something happened.
Yeah. It wound up being called Of Mice and Men.
Oh,
That was a really... I wish there was more than 10, though, but that was a really good one.
No Billy and the Clonosaurus?
Billy and the Clonosaurus. Oh my god. None of these almost titles were better than what we wound up with, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The Undead. The Dead Undead.
The Dead Undead. Sounds like an indie band.
It really does. It really does. We are the Dead Undead. All right. Here's one more from Mental Floss submitted by Alice, which is the possible origins of 7 instantly recognizable visual cliches. So let me bring that up here. So, number 1 is the origin of the bankrupt person wearing a barrel. I must have seen this in a million cartoons, and I wonder, did anybody actually do that? I have no money for clothes, so I'll just wear this barrel that I found.
Maybe the depression. I don't know.
So it came from a political cartoonist who wrote something called The Taxpayer, which is a guy wearing a barrel. So
seems like something that would have been in the New Yorker a long time ago.
It was in you're close. It was in New York World Telegram, and it did stem. It was in 1933. So EB, you were also correct that it was from the Great Depression.
Hey.
All right, number 2, drinking champagne out of a lady's shoe. I always wondered why one would want to do that.
Yeah.
And why that's seductive. Like, give me your shoe, I'm going to drink out of it. Kind of weird.
Feet.
Yeah. Well, no, more shoe, I guess. But apparently this happened where at 1902 at a party at Chicago's Everly Club, the guest of honor was Prince Henry of Prussia, and one of the house butterflies, which is a very pleasant way of saying prostitutes, was dancing on a tabletop to the Blue Danube, and her slipper flew off her foot and knocked over a bottle of champagne. And then one of the prince's entourage picked up the slipper and drank what was in it, just to be funny. So, and he said, "This is the quote: the darling shouldn't get her feet wet."
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll drink this to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink her sweaty champagne because she was dancing. So, okay, gross. Number 3, the life of the party: a guy wearing a lampshade on his head.
Yeah.
Where does that?
I thought that's just because I'm look at how silly and wacky I am.
Yeah, but who was the first person to do it? Oh. So apparently it happened at a party, a St. Patrick's Day party at the White House, where people were specifically warned not to get too rambunctious and refrain from putting lampshades on your head. Apparently nobody had actually done it at that point, but they put the idea in their head. Kind of like EB, you said that Sonic says about the refrigerator.
It was a dryer, playing in the dryer.
Oh, the dryer, right. Don't play in the dryer. And you're like, well, I never thought of that before, but now I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
All right, number 7, the chef's kiss. The chef kissing their fingertips. Where does that come from?
Don't know.
Let's see what it says. So the cliche itself comes from an Italian hand gesture of kissing the fingertips before tossing them away, a move meaning something like beautiful, delicious, or as good as a kiss. And you just see it with the tempi, they go bellissimo. And so yeah, I kind of knew that. That's not hard to know.
That makes sense.
Number 5, the bank robber carrying the sack with the dollar sign on it.
Dollar sign.
See, I always assumed that was just to like in cartoons, to let you know that there's money in it.
Yeah.
Or that the robber was so dumb, like, oh, this one's for the money. Okay.
There's 3 X's means booze.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Let's see. In the grand scheme of things, such markings would seem counter to standard security precautions. In April 2015, a gentleman robbed an Olympia, Washington subway restaurant and provided a homemade dollar sign bag to the startled sandwich artist, who he warned not to do anything funny in film noir fashion. True, he didn't wear a Lone Ranger mask and horizontally striped shirt while committing his heist, but the local flatfoots nabbed him nevertheless. So it says that basically nobody's ever done this other than that one time, and it's just a thing from cartoons.
Yeah.
He brought his own sack with the dollar sign on
it. I brought my own.
Yeah. Number 6, a kid running away from home with his belongings on a stick. The old, the hobo bindle, really.
Bindle, yeah.
So it came from the Great Depression. People really did have bindles like that, so. People were migrating around looking for jobs, looking for whatever they can get, and all their belongings were in a bindle. So they didn't have shopping bags. That's what you would use now, right?
Yeah.
So
they didn't have much.
They would use a bandana. Okay, number 7, the cartoon bomb that looks like a cannonball.
A bomb.
Yeah, like the one that Batman couldn't get rid of. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. So apparently there were bombs like that in Europe in the 1300s. They were made out of metal, filled with explosive. There were spheres, and they had like the thing coming out. They weren't as big as those, like the Batman bomb, but they did exist. Oh, that was the last one. That was a very interesting list. 6 out of 7. I think the chef's kiss thing was way too obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go 6 out of 7 too as well.
Yeah.
The rest was interesting.
Yeah. Give it a third 6 just so we have 666.
Hey,
Satan, Satan, Satan. Oh, shit. All right. Here's one from Borg. The top 10 weirdest fighting game characters of all time by a YouTuber named Rooflemonger. Dude decided to call himself Rooflemonger and made this list.
You've played many fighting game.
Games,
what would be one of the weirdest you've ever seen?
I mean, I could think like almost any character from Waku Waku 7. That was some weird shit, but I don't know. I can't think of like a specific. I keep thinking of the last boss because he looked like a giant like bomb guy. You know. I mean, there's some fucked out weirdos out there. You know. There are some fucked out weirdos. Well, let's see who's on here. Number 10 is Hinako from the King of Fighters. Bro, Hinako, that's my girl right there. I'm good with her.
Oh,
That was the sumo wrestler.
Yes,
girl, right?
she's a like a teenage girl that is a sumo wrestler.
nice.
And they added her to King of Fighters 15 and everything. I was like, they need to bring Hinako back, and I was like, that's never gonna happen. Nobody cares about Hinako, and then they fucking did it.
Hey, do what makes you happy.
I think that if they ever do like another Capcom versus SNK, we need her and E Honda on a team together, you know. Especially since he's huge and she's tiny, you know, but they have the same fighting style.
It
She was
works.
like, one of her endings wasn't Hanako trying to get like more girls in her class to join the sumo club.
Yep. Number 9 is Mocap from Mortal Kombat. Like this was just a dumb
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah,
It's silly as hell. It's like
just-
meat.
Yeah. Number 8 is Effelt Valentine from Guilty Gear. Okay, so I've played a few of these Guilty Gear games, but I'm not familiar with Effelt Valentine, so I'm gonna have to do the Google thing here and see what the heck they're talking about.
I know, like, Guilty Gear is the game that has.
Just some chick.
Yeah, I don't know why they think Felt is so bizarre.
She looks like every other character in Guilty Gear. She's just
I don't-
some anime girl.
I know Guilty Gear is the one with a trans character and an NB character.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, there are some interesting designs in the Guilty
Yeah,
Gear
but
games.
she's so
I don't know about weird.
she's so generic anime. Like she looks like she's just some chick with big boobs. I don't understand what's so weird about her.
Right.
Maybe her gameplay is unusual. I don't know.
I'm not that familiar with
Yeah.
that character though.
Which games is she in? Oh, she first appeared in Xrd. I haven't gotten to. Oh, Alice EB did say that there's a non-binary character in Guilty Gear. That's
Yeah.
What's their name?
Testament.
Testament. Yes. Testament's
And then-
really cool too. I like Testament.
It's been confirmed to be trans.
Number 7 is QB from Darkstalkers. I don't think QB is any weirder than any of the other Darkstalkers. I think the people that come into chat and obsess over QB are weird.
Which one's
Yeah.
QB?
The Queen
Based on?
Bee, the bee.
Yeah,
Oh, Queen. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
that one guy who wouldn't shut up until you acknowledged him about which was a real set of eyes.
Yeah, 'cause he kept saying it over and over, and I'm like, dude, we know it's not that interesting.
We get it.
Number 6 is G from Street Fighter. Yeah, G's a fucking weird. He's like the president of the world. He
I'm gonna
plays.
fight.
Yeah, pretty much. He looks like Uncle Sam. He plays very similar to Q from Street Fighter 3, and he's just a weirdo. Like, yeah, he's pretty weird. Number 5 is Bedman from Guilty Gear. See, another Guilty Gear character I don't know. I've only played up until X2. So let me see what Bedman is. He a bed?
Is he a man?
All right, I'm bringing up pictures, and it's literally a bed.
Yeah.
It's a guy in like what looks like a hospital bed, but like a hospital bed from Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like over designed,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess he
Ornate-
controls.
ornate.
I guess the bed fights for him.
Okay.
That's pretty fucking weird.
It's a deathbed.
Bed that eats.
The bed that eats.
Yes, that movie is great because it just plays the concept so straight.
That's an actual movie.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It's from the 70s and it's
Wow.
like so dramatic and stuff.
The bed that eats. That's like the Mangler. Where Freddy Krueger curses a laundry machine. Number 4 is Hakan from Street Fighter. I mean, putting a Turkish oil wrestler into Street Fighter is a great idea. I don't understand why he's bright red. Like-
Well, a lot of the characters are various colors, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Street Fighter, like, unless they're like an alien or some weird shit, they tend to have pretty realistic skin tones. This dude is straight up red. And,
Do they ever explain it?
No, I mean, maybe he's just really sunburned
Oh.
from all the oil or something. But
He's made of Turkish delight.
It's an interesting character though, because he does like to get his moves to like work properly. You do have to like oil yourself up.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Number 3. Okay, so these are spoiler. Let's see. Number 3 is Fat Mega Man from Street Fighter Cross Tekken. What were they
Yeah.
thinking? That Mega Man's going to be in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and they're like, not only is it based off of like the bad, shitty drawing of Mega Man from the box of the first game, but then they've decided that he's fat as well.
Probably
Why?
just based on the poor drawing. They're like, he looks kind of fattish.
No, they made him fat because like he guess he's been out of work or something. That was the joke.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that he yeah.
I thought it was just based on like the poor drawing.
You know, Mega Man is a human being, not a robot, and he's like this middle-aged dude with a huge gut. What were they thinking? Number 2 is Hornet from Fighters Megamix. Now I've played this game and I don't remember a character named Hornet, so I'm gonna have to Google this, and I have to type in Fighters Megamix because otherwise I'll just get bees. All right, I found something. Oh, that's right. It's the car. You can play as a car in Fighters Megamix. So you know,
That's pretty cool.
Fighters Megamix was sort of like Sega's Smash Brothers. Not that it plays like Smash Brothers, but that it's like a crossover of all their fighting games. Like it has characters from Last Bronx, characters from Virtua Fighter, characters from. But then there's like a car from Daytona. It's so weird, and it's like standing on its back wheels and.
Or like punches with the top wheels.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So it'd be like playing as Benny the Cab.
Pretty much. Except less cartoony and more looking like a car.
Weird.
You know what I mean? And number 1 is Blitz Tank from one of the BlazBlue games, I guess. Okay, so I let me bring this up because I played one of the BlazBlues, but it's just a fucking tank.
Play as a tank.
It's a tank. It's from BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which I have on Steam, but I haven't played it. It looks like, but like a futuristic tank, like something you would see in like Doom.
Whoa.
With a skull on top of it. That's interesting. Okay, so I gotta say that for this list, we got 12 of them here, right?
Yeah.
But I think only the top 4 are really weird.
I can think of much weirder ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think
Like
I'm more
the woman
familiar.
who's also half of a battle tank or a battle boat.
Yeah, there's much weirder shit out there. Maybe Rooflemonger needs to play more weird shit.
Or the man in a half moon that you fly around a room in.
I'm not terribly familiar with many of them.
I don't know
so-
what that is, but
It's from some Super Famicom Choeniki style.
oh my god! The whole cast of Choeniki could have been on this list.
Yeah, they're weird.
Isn't Choeniki a shmup?
The PlayStation one was, but the one on
Yes.
Super Nintendo was a fighting game.
Very strange.
Yeah, a lot of muscle men in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lady in a bathtub and she flies around. There's that one dude that's like an emoji.
Oh yeah, he looks like an emoji.
Yeah, what is that?
Modern day.
Yeah. There's so much. I mean, there's Balls 3D. There is another one. They could have put like characters from Clay Fighter on here. Go back to the 90s. You'll find some weird fucking shit. I'm gonna give it a 4 because I think that's how many of them are actually really fucking weird. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 5 because of Bedman.
That's a weird concept.
Bedman's pretty weird.
No, Bedman.
Go to Bedman. What are you guys rating it?
I'll go with a 5.
I'll just roll with the 4 because I don't really recognize many.
Yeah. Okay, so Moogle wants me to suffer, so he sent me a link from thegamer.com.
Oh, cool.
This side of their list, right? The 8 best and 7 worst games in Capcom's history. So Capcom has put out some real classic games, and they've put out some absolute bullshit as well.
Can you think of any super ass games?
I mean, the original Street Fighter is pretty ass.
Yeah, that's going to be one of them.
But honestly, the game that comes into my mind is Mega Man X7.
Yeah.
You were referencing that last time we were recording too.
Yes, that game is. It's the worst kind of bad. It's boring.
Yeah, it's so overloaded that you just don't care.
Burn it to the ground. Burn it to the ground. Burn it to the ground.
Ground.
Yeah. Let's find out. So there. I guess there's 15 of these, and some of them are best, and some of them are worst. So number 15 for best. Wait, when did this list come out? This is important. Oh, is this from 2017? So if there's any new really great games or really crappy games, they're not going to be on here.
No Devil May Cry 5.
Nope, no Devil May Cry 5. Number 15 for best is Dragon's Dogma. I've not played this actually, but I've heard it's good.
It looks good. I've seen gameplay.
Yeah, and it just recently got a sequel, which apparently people are pretty happy about.
I heard that sequel actually isn't very good.
No. Well, I've seen people streaming it, and they seem to be having a good time.
The whole Jimquisition about it.
Oh. Well, you know, as much as I love Jimquisition and Steph Sterling in general, they do tend to be a little negative about video games, you know?
Oh, yeah, I've mentioned before that I don't always agree with them, but I wouldn't like them as much as if I did, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 14 for worst is Lost Planet 3. Thank you for reminding me that Lost Planet 3 existed.
I just forgot about the series.
Yeah. That just kind of killed it right there, huh?
Womp womp.
Number 13 for best is Okami. Okami's really fucking cool.
It looks so pretty.
It did the what if Link was a dog thing before Twilight Princess came out, and you know. Yeah, I mean, it's got great visuals, it's got great gameplay, it's a cool concept, very fun to play.
Amaterasu's like just a cool character,
Yep.
design.
And she was in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, so that could have been on that list too.
Yeah.
Number 12 for worst is Devil May Cry 2. I'm gonna have to disagree on this one, because I recently played through the entirety of this series, and while Devil May Cry... Okay, so here's the thing. This is my honest opinion. Everything that everybody says about Devil May Cry 2 is absolutely correct.
Oh.
It's easy. It's not that polished. You just kind of walk through the game shooting everything, and it's not that compelling. However, it is still a lot better than the first game.
I mean, if it's still fun, that makes it good.
It's not really that fun, but it also... I didn't feel like the game was fighting me. Like, it controls well. The story was interesting. I didn't mind playing through it, whereas with Devil May Cry 1, I was ready to throw my controller. Not because it's hard, but because the controls were bad. They really didn't perfect it until the third one, which is fucking magnificent, by the way.
Yeah, the third's when they really hit their stride.
They really fucking... And then from then on, they were all good. Number 11 for best is Onimusha. I've actually never played Onimusha.
Me neither.
I know that it was, going to be a Resident Evil game, and then it wasn't, and...
How many things started as Resident Evil games?
At least 3.
Devil May Cry.
At least 3 things started as Resident... Well, think about how many things started as Final Fantasy and then weren't, right?
Yeah.
Number 10 for worst is Clock Tower 3. Yeah, the art style in this was what killed it. You had this... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Let's say, I actually really like Clock Tower 3. It's
There's nothing wrong with the game.
Ghost Head's the one that I dislike.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the actual game. But the art style sucks. Like, you had...
like PlayStation 2 kind of
No. I'm not talking about graphics. I'm talking about the way that they just made the design. The way they made the characters. The main villain, the guy with the scissors, now looks like Kefka for some reason.
Oh, clowny.
Yeah, weird. And I'm not saying that Kefka's not scary, but it's a different kind of scary.
It's not the same Scissor Man either. They had Scissor Twins.
Yeah.
Whose names were... I forgot the guy's name was, but the woman's name was Jemima.
Oh, no.
This is wrong on so many levels, especially the fact that you just said Scissor Twins.
I know!
Yeah. Hey, there were one guy, one girl.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Number 9, rather, is for best Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I've never played these. I know Riddle's a big fan.
I'm a fan of the series. I played many of them. Yeah. They're a lot of fun.
I mean, they're basically adventure games with very interesting characters. And by the way, Phoenix Wright was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He could have been on that Weirdest Fighting Games characters list. Just saying. Because why would a lawyer be in a fighting game?
Right.
Number 8 for worst is Dino Crisis 3. I mean, yeah, it's like you have your basically this is Resident Evil with dinosaurs game, and then like, oh, let's make it in space. That always works out well. Dinosaurs in space.
That does sound kind of awesome, but it's about execution.
Well, they didn't execute it all that well.
They got executed.
Yeah. Number 7 for best is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I mean, I talked about it's a great game if you're just playing it and having fun. If you're trying to actually get good at it, you're going to hate life. So
you'll eventually pick a certain group.
Pick 3 characters that you just think are fun. Play against somebody at your skill level and have a blast with it. That's what you should do with it.
There you go.
Don't try to like go into tournaments where everybody's playing the same 6 characters and they all smell like rotting cheese. Oh, I'm sorry, but as far as like the fighting game community, like the Marvel 2 fans, they're almost like Smash Brothers level.
Oh no.
Yeah. Number 6, I called it for worst, Mega Man X7.
There we go.
And I'm going to be streaming it at some point, and I'm going to be mocking it the whole time. And you know, X6 was pretty good, and X8 is pretty good, but X7 is in there like the shit sandwich. You know,
it's the clear stinker.
It really is bad. Number 5 for best is Resident Evil, specifically the remake.
Yeah,
which apparently they're talking about remaking it again.
Why?
I guess because they really don't want to remake Resident Evil 5.
They should do Code Veronica. Everybody's been asking for it.
Duh.
Oh yeah.
Duh. Right. That seems like a no-brainer. Number 4 for worst is Steel Battalion Heavy Armor. Was this the Kinect thing?
I've never even played the Steel Battalion games.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have $500 to spend on a controller.
Fuck.
So, yeah, this was the Kinect one, where they instead of buying the $500 tank controller, you would just motion.
Yeah.
And there's a part where you have to fist bump your bro, and the game won't move on until you fist bump him.
Like, do it.
Yeah. Number 3 for best is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So yeah, if you're playing against a person, this is like one of the most fun games ever. If you're playing against the computer, you're going to want to shoot yourself in the face with a nail gun.
Super Turbo, was that like on the 3DO?
It was on the 3DO. It was on a bunch of systems. 3DO was the first one to have like a home port of it, though.
Yeah.
I played it on PlayStation. I had a lot of fun with it on PlayStation. But recently I tried to play the arcade version on stream, and it's got 8 difficulty modes, and they're all exactly the same thing. Which is basically, here's what you do. You hit the other character, and then the computer says, fuck you, hit stun does not exist, and you get grabbed.
Oh.
You can't do combos. It's impossible. I learned from a video that Maximilian put out that it's a glitch in the American version, that if you want to play the Japanese version. I didn't know that at the time, so I just loaded it up on PlayStation and did that and had a blast. The PlayStation version is great. But yeah, I also have it on the Switch, and I don't know if you set it to Japanese, if it fixes that glitch or not, but yeah. Yeah, I agree, Alice. It's like a very consensus list. It's not like one person's opinion. Number 2 for worst is Umbrella Corps.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them Resident Evil spin-off.
It is, yeah. But
there have been worse ones since then, sadly. Like, Survive, their attempt to make a multiplayer game.
Yeah, Resident Evil. I mean, this was in 2017, so I guess for Resident Evil games, this was as bad as it got at the time. And number 1 for best is Mega Man 2.
Oh.
I'm kind of like over the whole let's jerk off to Mega Man 2 thing, and like, are we forgetting that 3 and 4 were better?
Or 9.
9 is a little bit too difficult.
Really?
I got through it and everything, but they knew that people were going to be playing in that were in their like late 30s and played Mega Man a million times. But imagine if that was your first one.
Ooh.
Like any other game in the series, you could just jump in and play it. They couldn't seem to get that because then 10 was too easy, and they overcorrected. I think, and I know June's with me on this one, Mega Man 4 is the best in the classic series.
Your favorite. I don't know about best.
I think it is the best. I'm Because, I mean, like, favorite would be hard to pick between 4 and 5. I mean, my favorite would be one of the X games anyway, so.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean the Mega Man X games, not the bunch of people rock climbing on TV.
The X Games, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, out of 15, what do you guys think? I agree with Alice. It sort of feels like a very corporation list,
Yeah.
you know? I'll give it a 10.
11 is what I was thinking.
There you go.
8.
Hey.
8. Okay, here's another one from Moogle. This is actually 2 lists.
Oh.
But they're not from the same place, but they're sort of converse to each other. I think it's really interesting. The first one is from Collider, and it's 15 critically acclaimed movies that Roger Ebert disliked.
Ooh.
And then over at Cinema Blend, I have 9 terrible movies that Roger Ebert liked.
Oh, I like this. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, you know, he's an opinionated man just like any other, and sometimes he didn't agree with the consensus.
Mm-hmm.
So starting here with the critically acclaimed movies that Roger Ebert disliked, number 15 is Batman, the 1989.
1989?
Yeah. I remember both Siskel and Ebert disliked it, and it was kind of interesting because Gene Siskel is actually like a huge nerd. He was way into Batman, and he was disappointed because he was like, this isn't a Batman movie, it's a Tim Burton movie.
Why not both?
I mean, I feel you on that. I like this movie, but I understand where Gene Siskel's coming from. I don't know what Roger Ebert disliked about it though. But he gave it 2 stars, so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Watching it now, like we have, you know.
Okay, I do have a small review blurb. He says it's a triumph of style over substance.
Okay.
I mean, it is very visually based, but there's nothing wrong with just watching a movie that's nice to look at, you know?
But if you think about it, like the character of Batman was based on like look at like he used his outfit to, you know, strike fear into people. So...
No, I get that. I think what he's saying is that the movie was more about the visuals than the story.
Okay.
I guess. I don't agree with him. I'm just saying that's where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Number 14 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He gave that 2 stars. This is one of my favorite movies, so that's kind of rough.
I actually heard that before, that Gene Siskel didn't. I mean, Roger Ebert didn't like it.
Yeah. He said that it was without any apparent purpose other than the creation of disgust. Oh, man, no.
And?
No. That's not even true, though. I mean,
No.
It's such a good movie. I remember when I convinced June to show it on a Halloween stream night, and she had no idea what she was in for. Nobody did. Nobody but me at this stream had seen the movie.
Oh.
So I'm just sort of like, this is going to be fun because everybody thinks it's going to be this campy sort of slasher movie. They weren't expecting existential dread, you know?
Mm.
And you know that famous last shot of Leatherface dancing as the sun is rising, and then the credits start rolling, and everybody just was like ... in the chat, and I just go, have a great weekend, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
It's such a depressing movie, and I love it. Number 13, oh my god, he didn't like Dead Poets Society.
Mm.
He gave that 2 stars. Me and Alice watched this not long ago. I think it holds up really well.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
He called it a collection of pious platitudes masquerading as a courageous stand in favor of something.
What movie was it? I was checking.
Dead Poets Society.
Oh, right.
And if you want to see a modern version of this, The Holdovers was really good.
Oh, I haven't seen that
That
yet.
was a good one.
Checking because I thought I remembered like Gunnar Hansen who played Leatherface passed away. He did.
He did, yeah.
Oh.
Number 12, he didn't like Gladiator. He gave that 2 stars.
I've never seen Gladiator.
He called it Rocky on Downers.
What?
I actually really like this movie when I saw it in 2000. I don't know how it holds up now though.
I feel I am the same way with you. When I saw it in theaters, I was like, I was entertained.
Yeah. Are you not entertained? It was a good movie. I liked it.
I referenced it when we were recording Final Fantasy VII. I've never even seen the movie.
You did reference it. Number 11, he didn't like Fight Club. He gave that 2 stars as well.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it.
He called it macho porn.
So he totally missed the point then.
Roger, you missed the point.
Yeah,
It's satire. He didn't. But you know what? Oh, most people miss the point of Fight Club. Most people don't get the satire. So he's with a lot of other people on that one.
There's a gay dude ragging on toxic masculinity.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I don't, and I think he did not know that. Number 10, he didn't like The Elephant Man. I'm with him on that. That movie's
I didn't
lame.
like that one.
No, he gave it 2 stars.
I get the idea. I've never seen it though.
It also didn't age well at all.
It's terrible. He called it pure sentimentalism.
Oh.
Which is
okay.
It is, yeah. June in her review called it inspiration porn, which I think is accurate.
Yeah.
Number 9, he didn't like A Clockwork Orange. I feel this is a divisive movie as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I get the idea you're not supposed to like it.
Yes, that's how I feel. I feel that you're supposed to be filled with anger when you watch it, and I understand why some people are put off by that. That's perfectly acceptable. So I respect his opinion on this.
I think it's a good movie. It's just hard to watch.
Yes, exactly. He called it an ideological mess masquerading as an Orwellian warning.
Very stylistic.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it here, but sometime, Jesse, you might want to look into how the original book got written or why.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, the author,
there's a true story behind
the author. The author was going through something. We'll just put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 8, he didn't like the original Godzilla. To be fair, he gave it a 1.5 stars. He was probably watching the American cut. He just called it a bad movie. If you watch Godzilla, you have to watch the Japanese version. You cannot watch that terrible American cut where basically this dude narrates the entire movie to you as if you're a dumbass who can't see what's on the screen. So that's probably what was going on there. I know he was a real fan of the 80s remake, though. He had a poster in his office of that one. Number 7, he didn't like Raising Arizona. He gave that 1.5 stars. I don't know. I've never seen this one. So this is the first movie I have no idea about.
Did that have Nicolas Cage in it?
I believe so.
I don't know. It's a Coen Brothers movie.
It's about this couple. They want to have a baby. They can't. So they hear about this other couple that had like quintuplets. They go and kidnap one of them.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's what it says here. That's wild.
Yeah.
He said it was shot down by its own forced and mannered style. Okay. Number 6, he didn't like The Usual Suspects.
One of my favorite movies. I don't watch.
Yeah, you know what? I feel you on this one. Like I remember him. This was one of the biggest ones that people give him shit for. Part of his review where he says, "To the degree that I do understand, I don't care." It is a tough watch now because of Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
So that's rough. Number 5, he didn't like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I'm with him on this one. This movie's overrated as hell.
It was fun while watching it.
He said it took potentially funny situations and turned them into a general embarrassment. That's it. It had great setups. I agree with him. There's so many things in that movie that should have been funny but weren't. No, I'm with Ebert on this one.
I don't know. I liked it.
Number 4, he didn't like a movie called Taste of Cherry. I've never even heard of this one.
They're my favorite fruit. Sorry, Ebert.
He called it excruciatingly boring.
You're excruciatingly boring.
I've never heard of it. It's an Iranian film. Okay, well, he didn't like it. Number 3, oh my god. All right, I'm with him on this one. He did not like Kick-Ass. I hated this movie. I hated it. I hated it.
Hated.
Yep, just like his review of North. He said that it was morally reprehensible, and that he lamented how unfunny the satirical elements were.
Huh.
Yeah. No, I agree. I hated it. I know people love this movie. I fucking hate it.
I feel about this one as I did with Fast Times. I liked it, but that's it.
Hey, Almighty Sin is with me. It's just bad though. I was like really wanting to turn it off the whole time.
Thank you, Moogle. I like cherries too.
Number 2. Oh, I'm with him on this one. He didn't like Blue Velvet. Everybody loves this movie. I hated it as well. I found it boring. I I thought Dennis Hopper was the only good part of it, but it just no, I didn't like it.
Oh, haven't seen this one, so I don't know.
He said that it was pulled so violently in the opposite direction that it pulled itself apart.
What is it about?
That one's David Lynch movie.
Yes, it was a David Lynch movie.
Oh.
It was about all these like suburban weirdos that had like this underground sex cult.
Holy shit, okay.
And Dennis Hopper was this dude who like huffed nitrous and he had like a mommy kink.
I was gonna say it's about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours long. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I found it to be depressing, personally.
Oof.
And number one, he didn't like pink flamingos.
Most people don't.
Yeah, that's not exactly a hot take.
Yeah.
Rebird. He didn't give it he never did a formal review in the newspaper, but he gave it a thumbs down on the TV show.
You just don't get it, man.
Yeah.
All the John Waters movies, that was one of them.
That was one. Yeah, he's made some good ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was a blurb from his review. I love this. He says, "It should be considered not as a film, but as a fact or perhaps an object." That's basically his way of saying it exists.
Yeah.
It's a film.
Yeah, it exists.
It's all up there.
Okay, so out of 15, how do we feel about this? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I feel it started off rough because you had like Batman, Dead Poets Society, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Gladiator, Fight Club. These are all good movies. And then once it hit Elephant Man and went onwards, I was pretty much either agreeing with him or understanding where it came from. So I'm going to give it a 10 because that's where Elephant Man was on the list.
I was thinking an 8, just above Pass.
I was going to say like an 11.
Okay. A wide range of opinions there. And speaking of wide range of opinions, here's from Cinema Blood 10 terrible movies that Roger Ebert liked.
All right, let's see how we feel.
Okay, so he liked The Happening. That's pretty amazing.
That happened.
I tell people when they asked about the movie Bird Box, I'm like, it's basically what would happen if The Happening were actually kind of good.
Yeah, if The Happening was made competently, it would have been Bird Box.
Happening,
right?
but good.
He gave it 3 stars. He called it oddly touching.
Touch something, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just hit him the right way, I guess. I think it was fucking awful, but hey.
What? No.
Yeah. All right. He also liked Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Oh, God.
I like that one.
Yeah. I think this is definitely one of those so bad it's good sort of movies.
You betcha.
Here's a quote. "Movies like this embrace goofiness with an almost sensual pleasure, and so on a warm summer evening do I."
I'm with him.
Yeah,
you know?
I am with him on that. This movie is bad, but it's bad in a good way.
And Sandra Bullock giving it her all, you know?
Yeah. He liked The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I don't even think it was that bad. It was just a fun, goofy movie.
Yeah, kind of the same idea.
Yeah. He said it was dumb fun.
Yeah. What's wrong with dumb fun?
Yeah. Speaking of which, he also liked Anaconda.
Anaconda's so fun.
Yeah. He said it didn't disappoint him. He knew what he was getting into with that one.
And you kind of went in with no expectations on that one anyway.
Absolutely. He liked Junior, which I have to admit I thought was funny when I saw it when I was like 13 years old. I don't know.
Maybe that's when
how
you're
it would hold
supposed
up
to see
now.
it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole let's have Arnold Schwarzenegger become pregnant and then act like a stereotypical chick thing hit me when I was 13. I would probably hate it now. There you go. He liked Congo. I'm with him on that. I liked Congo as well.
Yeah, Congo was all right. That dude eating that sesame cake.
Oh, stop eating my sesame cake.
Yeah.
And that was who was he? That was Tim Curry, right? He was the one.
It was.
Yeah. I seem to remember this movie came out and everybody loved it, and then about 5 years later, everybody decided no, that sucked.
I don't know. I liked it.
There was like this weird backlash that came way later. He liked Home Alone 3. I guess somebody had to.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. He said he basically just liked the kid. He thought he was cute, and that he liked the way that he was smiling when all the 4 terrorists were getting killed by his traps.
Like the first and second one.
Wow. Yeah, I guess. He liked the Honeymooners
Oh, there was the
with
yeah,
Cedric
I
the
did not see that.
Entertainer.
Yeah, I did not see that.
He said he walked in with quiet dread and walked out with quiet delight. So, you know,
mildly okay.
I didn't see it, but I didn't see it because it looked like it was a piece of shit. And I guess he's saying this is surprisingly not a piece of shit.
It won't wow you, but you
Yeah.
know.
He liked something called The Box. I don't know what that is.
What's in the
Oh,
box?
That's the one that's based on episode Twilight Zone.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh.
The box where they go around, just tell you if you press it, you'll get $1 million, but somebody
will
you don't
die.
know will kill you.
Oh,
Will
okay.
will die, and then they give it to you, and it's like, well, where are you going? It's like to find somebody you don't know.
Well, it has a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes, but Roger Ebert was in that 24%.
Somebody had to be.
How did I beat Yaldabaoth in Xenoblade? Well, he's a tough boss, but you just got to focus on surviving that one, okay? If you're having an issue, put yourself with Ricky in front and just keep spamming the damage over time stuff. That was the 9th one. I got to say, this was not as interesting because a lot of these, like, yeah, some of these were just goofy. There's nothing wrong with liking goofy movies. Honestly, I think the only egregious thing on here was, where was it? It was near the beginning. That he liked The Happening.
Yeah.
So I will give it an 8.
It was 8. It was out of 8.
It was out of 9. I'm taking 1 off
Out
for
of
The
9?
Happening, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with 8 as well. I'll follow you. Follow you down that road.
Yeah, I guess I'll give it an 8, even though that seemed like
one of us. One of us.
Gobble gobble. Okay, so here's a list that Neth provided from Collider. It's the 11. I'm sorry, it's 10. It's the 10 most underrated Disney movies.
Black Cauldron. Black Cauldron.
You know Black Cauldron is absolutely going to be on this list, right?
Yeah.
That might be the quintessential underrated Disney movie.
It's the underrated movie
cool.
I hear the most about.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
So number 10 is Robin Hood. On what planet is Robin Hood underrated? Isn't this a total classic?
It's got that Robin Hood Little John Rocking Through the Forest song everybody loves.
I know it's like Moogle's favorite movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about Moog.
Yeah, I mean,
it rose something in a certain genre of people.
Well, it didn't raise that in me, but I did like it. It was good.
Yeah.
It's not even a joke. Moog has talked about how much he likes the movie.
Yeah.
No, it's totally not a joke. I know he really likes it. Number 9 is Winnie the Pooh. I feel like people slept on this one. Yeah.
I don't know. This is a franchise, for heaven's sake.
You're talking about the 2011 movie.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, the one that's just that's the one we're talking about.
The original from like 1968. I grew up watching that movie so many times. My grandmother used to sing the songs from it.
Oh, that's the Many Adventures of. Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh was also the very last 2D animated Disney film.
Oh, our rip.
Yeah. I think it was good. Number 8 is The Rescuers Down Under.
I like that one more than the original.
I know. I was waiting for you to say it.
I've only seen that one. I haven't seen the original.
It was better than the first one, but I think because it's a sequel, people don't give it the credit that it deserves.
Underrated.
Yeah. The whole Disney sequel stigma for a while too.
Number 7 is Bolt.
Uh-oh.
So Moogle was obsessed with this movie, but we have come to find that obsession was at least 80% a joke.
Yeah.
Was it though? Was it?
It's still his profile picture on
Twitch. It was part 80% a joke. Wait, isn't the inflatable husky his profile picture?
It is on Discord on Twitch.
Twitch. Oh, that's right. I don't actually see people's. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I don't see people's profiles unless I click on it. I've never seen it. I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care.
He just wanted to irritate someone in a sad snake.
Yep.
I just want to hear people say Bolt.
Bolt. Number 6 is The Great Mouse Detective. This definitely qualifies as an underrated Disney film.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It is entertaining.
Nobody ever talks about it at all. So
Vincent Price.
Yep.
As a villain.
Number 5 is Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Watched this with Alice not very long ago, and I thought it was really good.
I watched it with you
Yeah.
too.
Oh, that's right, you were there
Does
for
have-
that.
Michael J. Fox?
Michael J. Fox, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was really good. I thought it was good. Number 4 is Brother Bear. I mean, I've never seen it, but I know about the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Got bears.
Joaquin
shit-
Phoenix is in it. Number 3 is The Princess and the Frog. This is a really good one.
Yeah.
This is a really good one. I think that like people were being shitty about the cast being black. Let's be real.
Right now, American Girl has a line of dolls based on Disney princesses, and Tiana's one of them.
There you go. That's cool. Number 2 is The Emperor's New Groove. I've never seen this because I didn't want to.
I know
It's all right. It's fun enough.
I know several people who have seen it, but
Yeah.
I haven't. I know the whole story about how it started as Kingdom of the Sun and how
Yep.
Sting's
Oh, damn,
wife
you
was
do know.
filming it as like a documentary, and
Mm-hmm.
now Disney won't allow her to release the documentary about it because it's not very favorable to
Yeah,
Disney.
it's not flattering to them at all.
Yeah.
No.
I think this was there is a limit to how much David Spade I can handle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That limit was like, Tommy Boy. you know.
Some of it was good.
And wow. Wow.
Hmm?
So number 1 is not the Black Cauldron as we all suspected that it would be.
Boo.
It's Treasure Planet, which I ought to be honest, I didn't like this one.
Treasure Island in space.
Yeah. Really good cast. The first 20 minutes or so are really good, and then I thought it went completely off the rails.
I haven't seen this one just because I'm like, it's Treasure Island.
It's why on the Cartoon Club, June's name is currently Captain Catgirl.
I mean, it had some good things to it. I just overall was disappointed, and I'm overall disappointed that the Black Cauldron's not even on this list.
Nobody likes Black.
It's-
Maybe
It's so,
so
underrated.
often
That oh, you think it's too cliche?
it's like come back around. It's everybody mentions that it's overrated, and now it's like rated.
Perhaps.
Just rated.
Yeah,
Yes.
perhaps. But maybe people feel that because of so many people putting it on those lists that it's gotten its due.
Yeah.
Mm,
But
Maybe.
I can't get behind Treasure Planet being number 1.
eh.
Okay, so out of 10, 7. That's where I'm going. 7.
8.
I'm gonna go with an 8 too.
82.
82.
Yeah, 8 too. Get an 82 out of 9.
Okay. And the Duke of Nukem here, which I'm pretty sure that's just Almighty Santa. Duke of Nukem has ranked all the Castlevania games from worst to best.
Holy jumping Jiminy
And it's
Christmas.
funny because I'm currently playing through all the Castlevania games. And I did a tier list like a year and a half or so ago of Castlevania. So this is going to be interesting. So what would you guys think? Worst Castlevania, best Castlevania?
Well, I'll say Dawn of Sorrow is still my favorite, so I'm wondering where they put that on
Really?
the
Wait,
list.
hold on. Dawn of Sorrow, really?
Yeah, no, I know. Everybody loves Aria.
Interesting.
I know.
No, that's cool, but I just never heard that one before.
The only Castlevania game I've actually had hands-on playing experience with is Symphony of the Night. So
That's a pretty strong one.
Maybe
Yeah.
Haunted Castle is worst one?
Having played a bunch of those old janky ones, Haunted Castle is ass.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And I played the one that's like the best version of it, and we wound up watching a YouTube video of a speed
Oh
run
my God.
so that we could see the whole thing.
Somebody beat it. Okay.
Well, it's speedrunners, All right, so yeah, Haunted Castle is ranked as the worst one.
Yes.
Followed by Castlevania: The Adventure. I gotta say, I disagree with that. I think that yes, it's a janky game and all that, but when you consider it as being the very like Game Boy launch title, it's actually kind of fucking impressive.
There's got to be ones with more jank,
Dracula X is next. I'm assuming he means the SNES game, which I think
Probably.
it's underrated. To be honest with you, I will say that it is entirely too fucking hard.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
is.
get very far. It was a rental.
I mean, I beat it. But it was rough. It was a lot of save states. Belmont's Revenge. No, that game rules.
That game is awesome.
Yeah, that game rules. Vampire Killer. I tried to like this game. I really did. It's not very likable. Castlevania.
Which one is that?
Oh, it's the MSX one.
Oh, that's right. Oh, is that the one where like you have to go screen by screen?
Yeah, and you like collect keys and stuff. It's got a good idea, but the controls are the controls are a fucking nightmare. Then we have Castlevania Legends, which personally I would put that closer to the bottom because it's barely better than Castlevania the Adventure, but it's an original Game Boy game that came out like after Symphony of the Night.
I did like the music. But...
Oh, come on. None of these have bad music. Original Castlevania Rebirth. I guess he means the Adventure of Rebirth. That's a good one. Mirror of Ruin. That's not a game that exists.
Isn't that a mobile?
No, that's Order of Shadows is what you're thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is there like some pachinko game or something that I don't know?
I hope so.
I'm looking this up. Okay. You either mean Mirror of Fate or you mean Portrait of Ruin.
Oh, I thought there was like some weird hybrid.
And considering the next one is Portrait of Ruin, I think you mean Mirror of Fate.
Okay.
Mirror of Fate, it could have been better, but I liked it.
DS?
It was on 3DS and then...
Or 3DS,
yeah,
sorry.
And then it came out on like everything else later on.
Hmm.
Portrait of Ruin... Why is this so low?
Jonathan.
You know what? I think that this... I think I'm sorry, Almighty Santa, that I got to compare you to Tanya, but I think this is sort of like a little bit of the Tanya thing where she said she didn't like it. And I said, how do you not like Portrait of Ruin? And I after talking to her, I realized that she thought that you had to have both characters on screen at all times.
What?
And I said, you know that you could just press the A button and control one character. And she had no idea that you could do that. Dracula X Chronicles is on here. I put that near the top because you're getting a good remake of a good game, and you get the original game, and you get Symphony of the Night. How is that not the total fucking package right there?
That is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Curse of Darkness. Yeah. Curse of Darkness being right in the middle makes a lot of sense to me. The greatest thing about it is that it inspired 2.5 seasons of the anime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Bloodlines. Yeah, it's about right for Bloodlines. Lords of Shadow 2. Lords of Shadow 2 is weird because it's like the most disappointing fucking game, but it's also still kind of awesome.
What is it that's disappointing about it?
Okay, so there's sort of like two gameplay loops in it, and it feels like two different games where exploring the city is real. Like Castlevania City is really fucking dull. It's just it's like you're walking through like the set of the Double Dragon movie. It's just really dull. And then there's the castle. That part rules. And there is so much incongruity between the two. It was the most ambitious fucking Castlevania, but they didn't really hit it. You know, last boss was a disappointment too. Like, I am sorry, Alucard should not have been the fucking last boss.
Who should have been?
I mean, I wanted a rematch with Satan.
Oh.
And, you know, kind of getting around it by having Satan possess Alucard was kind of dumb.
Just for a skin change, you know.
But the Alucard DLC that came out later redeemed it. That part ruled. Rondo of Blood. Dawn of Sorrow. Is there?
Yeah. Oh,
wait,
okay.
Judgment. Okay, wait. All right, hold on. Judgment. All right, hold on. Hold on a second. The janky Castlevania fighting game does not belong above Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Like, I'm sorry. I will defend it. It's fun, but it's also like bad. Like, it's one of those games. It's like, I know this is trash, but I have fun with it anyway.
Where on the list do you think it ought to be?
Towards the bottom, if I'm being honest. It's not good. Just because I enjoy playing it doesn't mean it's good. My opinion doesn't matter that much. Lament of Innocence, I'm just going to be starting that. Day After Tomorrow. The story, holy shit. Who saw that coming? Did you play Lament of Innocence, Jesse? I know EB's been quiet because they haven't played a lot of Castlevania.
Yeah.
I have not played. Is that on PlayStation?
PlayStation 2, yeah. This is the one with
okay.
Leon Belmont. The origin
I have not
of
played this.
the origin of the whole story, where the whip came from, who Dracula really is.
Holy
also,
shit.
the last boss being Death, brilliant.
Ooh.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Because it's Dracula's origin, you know.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense to fight him at the end.
Cool.
Wonderful game, loved it. Order of Ecclesia. Order of Ecclesia is an interesting one because it's so hard. But it's like,
it is.
But
difficult.
it's in that really cool Dark Souls kind of way where you just want to keep throwing yourself at it, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, when you die, it's not that punishing.
Yeah. Simon's Quest is I mean, props for putting Simon's Quest towards the top where it belongs. It's a great game.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this, Almighty Santa, where you wrote Castlevania 1999? That's not a game.
Well, he means the N64 game.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, you could have just wrote Castlevania 64. We would have understood what you meant. Yeah.
But then we'd be like, it's not called Castlevania 64.
Yeah, well, no, we wouldn't have, because I understand that there's several games that are just called Castlevania, and look, I was calling it Castlevania 64 when I was streaming it. Props for putting this so high up on the list. It is good. And when I was first of all, when I was streaming it, I had a lot of fucking views. Because there are a lot of people who are way into this game, and everybody was coming by and saying it's so refreshing to see somebody genuinely enjoying this game. It just is good, and people were being dopes about it because it wasn't Symphony of the Night. Lords of Shadow, yeah, I love Lords of Shadow. Wonderful game. Dawn of Sorrow again?
Well,
I think
we got him twice.
I think one of these is supposed to be Aria of Sorrow, except Aria of Sorrow is also on the list, so I don't know what that's about. Yeah.
All right, we did it.
Circle of the Moon. That's a little high for Circle of the Moon. I like it, but that's kind of fucking high for it.
I think Dawn is better than Circle. I hate to say it.
I think so is Order of Ecclesia and most
that too.
Aria of Sorrow, just finished it. Still one of my very favorites. Harmony of Despair. You really got Harmony of Despair really high up. Do you mean Harmony of Dissonance, Almighty Sinner?
Yeah, the other GBA.
Yeah, because Harmony of Despair is that weird multiplayer game that I haven't even played it. I plan to stream it because Field and Niche introduced me to the fact that you can still play it single player on an emulator. And I don't see Harmony of Dissonance on the list. So I'm assuming this is where Harmony of Dissonance goes.
Is that where you can? Is the one you're referring to where you can see like the whole map at once?
You can, yeah, you can zoom it out to see the whole thing if you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to play it like that, otherwise you're playing like an ant. Legacy of Darkness, that is the third best. The other N64 game, I gotta admit, it was fucking awesome, but is it really the third best Castlevania game? That's really high up. Super Castlevania 4 being second best and very best being Symphony of the Night.
Symphony.
Personally, I think Symphony of the Night being the best is like a big cliche. Because I think
maybe it's got to be that good.
Yeah, but there, like a lot of these other games that are on here were basically, let's do Symphony of the Night but better. You know what I mean? And it sort of feels to me like, and I think EB's gonna chime in here because I'm gonna go over to Metroid here. Is that everybody and their mother puts Super Metroid as the best one?
Yeah.
And I will say, can you not see that Metroid Fusion is Super Metroid but better? And everybody was like, oh, but it was linear. And I'm like, dude, it's linear for like the first 2 hours. Keep playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fusion is fantastic.
And I mean, you know, and then and the part of the reason that I loved Metroid Dread was that it really felt like the follow-up to Fusion.
Yeah.
I still think Fusion's better than Dread, though. Putting that out there.
But Dread was a great fifth entry.
Absolutely. Fucking spectacular. But I feel like putting Symphony of the Night at number 1 is like putting Super Metroid at number 1. It's like just kind of like you're just putting it there because it's a classic.
I mean, if I were to make this list, Symphony of the Night would be both first and last. So.
Yeah. I mean, if I was making the list, it would be very different. Obviously, it's Duke of Nukem / Manic Scarecrow / Taco the Octopus / Almighty Santa's Opinion. And there were a lot of bold choices that I absolutely respect here. So, it's 29 games that were on the list. We'll say 28 because he listed a few, one of them twice. So out of
the greatest
28,
one.
I'm gonna give it a 25. I'm gonna be very generous here.
I'm thinking. Let's see. Out of 20, yeah, we'll go 28, 26, because there's a lot of great choices.
And EB, I know you don't have a dog in this game, but you can throw out a number just for fun.
I'm gonna throw out Pi.
3.14.15296. Yeah, okay, pie. Pie is delicious.
Indeed.
Okay, so I got lists on my phone to do here now. I'm trying to pick a fun one because I have some in here that seem fun and some in here that don't seem fun.
He's phoning it in, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, did we do this? I feel like we did. Did we do the 40 core questions we can't believe people asked?
I think so. Because I think you were like being on Quora.
I feel like we did. Yeah, I think and I'd seen a bunch of them. I think I just forgot to close that tab. That's all it was. Okay, because I'm trying to go to the oldest ones that I want to get rid of here.
Just order a tab.
Just order a tab. Oh, no time for that. The computer's starting. How about from Crack.com? We have 22 celebrity endorsements that bid companies in the keister.
Oh, okay.
Jared from Subway on there.
Oh my God, that's gotta be number one, right?
Yeah, come on, man. That's a slam dunk.
One. Okay, it's not loading all that well. Maybe I should hit the refresh button here. Let's do that. Come on, Cracked.
Hit the kick it in the ass button.
I have noticed that I've had difficulties with this site. So I have this. Windows has this great feature where you pair your computer with your phone, and oh, it's all loading now. So I was gonna say I can actually copy something on my computer and paste it on my phone, and vice versa.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Okay, so number 22. In 1989, Pepsi wanted to appeal to American families, so they hired Madonna. Pepsi used Madge's song Like a Prayer in their commercials, which debuted during The Cosby Show. In the music video for Like a Prayer, a song about oral sex, Madonna witnesses a murder, gyrates around a burning cross, and makes out with a black saint who might actually be Jesus. Well, I don't see a problem with that last part, but okay. Church leaders freaked out so hard they called for a boycott of Pepsi and all its holdings, including Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut.
The song is a banger, though.
I don't see an issue with that, but then again,
it's the choice of a new generation.
It was the puritanical Reagan years, so
yeah.
Yes.
Number 21. O.J. Simpson used to run through airports in ads for Hertz. Then he ran from the police on national TV.
Ooh, hurts so bad.
Yeah. He died a little while ago, and normally I don't like to celebrate people's deaths, but he was a double murderer and a horrible person overall. So
yeah,
I will share with you.
Finally caught the killer.
Yep, he can die knowing that the real killer dies with him. My favorite meme that came out of it, because a lot of people pointing out that the sad thing about O.J. Simpson dying is that Norm Macdonald is not around to make jokes about it.
Damn.
Yes, but somebody posted a meme of Norm Macdonald in heaven saying, "O.J.'s dead? I don't see him anywhere. Are you sure?" All right. Number 20. I am the bullet in the chamber, said Oscar Pistorius' Nike ad. Just do it. Pistorius shot and killed his girlfriend.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, that one hits bad.
The Paralympic champion was found guilty of culpable homicide and sentenced to prison. Recent appeals for his early release have been denied. Well, recent, this article's from 2016, but...
Wow.
Yeah. Number 19. Aflac helps with expenses for people in emergencies. Comedian Gilbert Gottfried voiced their mascot. And when the 2011 earthquake and tsunami struck Japan, Gottfried took to Twitter and made some decidedly uncharitable jokes. Aflac reportedly derived 3/4 of its business from Japan.
He did say he felt a wave of guilt over the whole thing.
You know, and he even said on the Howard Stern show, because Howard hasn't, that apology, that wasn't you, was it? He's like, oh, I think that was generic apology number 7, and they just signed my name to it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Howard had the perfect take on this. He was like, should they have fired Gilbert for this? And he's like, they never should have hired him. Don't they know who he is?
That's the thing. Well,
Yeah.
they thought he was just a parrot from Aladdin.
Yeah, they thought, well, he's got
That's all he
experience
is.
being a bird, you know? Affleck.
And he's got a funny voice, so...
Which is not even his real voice.
No, it is not.
All right, number 18. In 1987, Eric Clapton did an ad for Michelob beer. Then he checked himself into rehab. Okay, look, him going into rehab is a good thing. Him being a horrible racist should be the reason this is cringy.
Yeah.
There's a
Just
lot of
saying.
things about him.
Yeah. Number 17, Mikhail Gorbachev was the last leader of the USSR, and he sold Louis Vuitton luggage. I didn't even know about this. In an ad, Gorbachev is shown riding past the remains of the Berlin Wall, his trusty Vuitton bag by his side, because nothing says spend, spend, spend like a high-profile communist leader. Gorby did get the last laugh, however. The magazine sticking out of his bag takes a dig at Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he wasn't
Timely?
he wasn't the president at the time, but okay.
Yeah.
Number 16, Kirstie Alley was Jenny Craig's spokesmodel for 3 years, and then I guess she gained weight again, and they fired her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Kirstie Alley kind of had a sad life.
I mean,
Yeah, she did.
You know, look, I mean, she did use their program. She did lose 75 pounds. She was a good spokesperson. It's not her fault that things turned around, and things happen.
Life happens,
Some
man.
people yo-yo. Number 15, the Got Milk campaign promotes milk as healthy. In 2004, they featured the notoriously unhealthy Olsen twins.
Oh, because they're thin?
No,
Oh,
because
what?
they're drug addicts is really, I think, what the issue was. And one of
Oh.
them
Yeah,
had
and only one of them
had
had
an eating disorder. Yeah.
Mary Kate.
Mm,
They're both like fashion designers now. They don't really
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah,
That's all they-
That's
yeah.
that's their thing now. Number 14, L'Oreal made an ad featuring a flawless Diane Keaton, then aired it right after her Golden Globe performance. The timing would have been perfect, except that Keaton's face appeared considerably more natural on the show than it did in the commercial. The side-by-side comparison caused instant backlash. Wait, that's a problem for a makeup commercial?
yeah, makeup makes
makeup-
you look different.
Yeah. Well, L'Oreal is shampoo and stuff too.
Okay, I don't know what... They didn't say specifically what she was in the commercial for, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see the problem with that.
An overreach.
Number 13, golfer John Daly struggles with alcoholism, so naturally Hooters made him their spokesman.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. Why does Hooters need a golfer to be their spokesman? Wouldn't their spokesperson just be like some hot girl with big boobs?
The product speaks for itself.
Did Carmen Electra say no? And like, what's going on here?
No one goes to Hooters for the beer or wings.
What's funny is that I've never been to Hooters in my life, but everybody that I've spoken to that has been there says that the food is really, really bad.
Well, my father was stationed in Iraq. They sent like dozen Hooters girls out to
Yeah.
like do a kind of USO thing for them.
Okay.
Dad's like, yeah, we couldn't do anything with them, so thanks for that.
Well, I mean, what are you really expecting? I mean, they're waitresses.
Yeah,
they
they
gonna-
sent them out there.
Hey,
it's
Flower,
like,
how's
look,
it going?
here's what you can't have.
Flower, not only have I not... I've never even seen a Hooters. I think it might be primarily a Midwest thing. Because I've never seen one.
I've never seen one either.
They had a bunch
Yeah.
in Ontario, but they've since all closed down.
Number 12, Coca-Cola made Michelle Kwan its brand ambassador at the same time she was on the President's Council on Fitness.
Ah.
Yeah, so what? I don't think Coca-Cola cares about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think-
like
I think the
she's not saying drink Coca-Cola all the time.
I think the Fitness Council would have an issue with that more than Coca-Cola would.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Number 11, Yardley Cosmetics put Helena Bonham Carter in their ads until she announced that she's really not into makeup.
Oops.
Okay.
That's a boneheaded move there, Helena. That's sort of like that Simpsons joke with Dredrick Tatum. I have been paid millions to endorse these butt ugly shoes.
Yes.
Wow. Number 10, FRS called itself Lawrence Armstrong's secret weapon. Then it came out that his secret weapon was steroids.
Yup.
Yes.
Womp womp.
Yeah, I don't think Tang was going to be his secret weapon. Let's be real.
He also was married to Cheryl Crow. She supported her all through his cancer, and then when she got breast cancer, he dumped her.
Dumped her like a rock.
Holy shit! That
Yeah,
happened?
That did happen, yeah. He's a terrible person.
Wow!
She's a wonderful person, and he's a piece of shit. So, yeah.
Wow.
She could do better.
Yeah, easily.
Uh,
Okay, I'm having an issue with the rest of them. Oh, here we go. Number 9, David Beckham was the spokesman for Brill Cream Hair Goop. He chopped his hair off anyway. Brill Cream reacted stoically. There is nothing in his contract to say how long his hair should be or how he should look. We have no plans to drop him as a result of his haircut. Perhaps they should have. Brill Cream sales immediately dropped 25%.
there you go.
Oops.
Because the dude got a haircut.
Well, I guess he buzz cut it or went bald or, like he must have chopped it all off. Some
I didn't
dudes
know they
just,
still made.
yeah, I mean, you rock the bald look sometimes.
I just can't believe the Bro Cream is still being made.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Charles Barkley was the spokesman for Weight Watchers. Then he called them a scam on TV.
Way to go.
Barkley did not know the cameras were rolling during a commercial break when he quipped, I thought this was the greatest scam going, getting paid for watching sports. This Weight Watchers thing is a bigger scam.
Oh, dude.
I like Charles Barkley. He just says what's on his mind. And I guess we got some bots going, huh?
Even if it makes no sense.
Yeah, Moogle, you just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, we got... Can we have one moderator at a time here working on this? Because it's like a light switch going on and off here.
Gonna say hi to the bot.
The follow bots have returned to Twitch. We got one. We got one the other day, and Moogle said they were out in Force on Kana's stream. Buy followers. Who would do that? Number 7, Alec Baldwin became the spokesman for Capital One Bank, and then he joined Occupy Wall Street.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man, that's funny.
He got his money, and then he's like, I'm out.
Yeah, good for him, though, right? Fuck them. Take their money and run.
Go on.
To take the money and run. All right, number 6, Jessica Simpson launched her own line of jeans in 2006. Then she told the press a different brand was her favorite.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh, that's just like I've been endorsed these butt ugly shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who has a favorite brand of jeans. They might have a favorite pair of jeans. I understand that, but
they made a couple movies based on that. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
there you go. That is true. Yes. All right, number 5, Charlize Theron signed on with watchmaker Raymond Weil. Then she got photographed in a Dior watch.
Oh boy, just wear your freaking product.
Well, I mean, okay, look. I understand you wear it in the commercials, but do you have to wear it all the time? Is that in her contract?
Maybe as long as the contract lasts. Sorry.
I guess that's the point of getting a celebrity endorsement, not just for the ads, but people see them around.
It must have been. It must have been in her contract because they did sue her. It says.
Ooh.
Oof. Number 4, actor Vinnie Jones was the spokesman for Bacardi. Then he got drunk and mean on a plane.
On Bacardi?
Let's find out. And during a 2003 flight to Tokyo, Jones got drunk and belligerent. He repeatedly slapped one passenger, then claimed he could have the whole plane killed. They even refer to him as the Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
He was fined £1,100 for his shenanigans in order to do 80 hours of community service. Bacardi did not renew his contract.
Yeah.
I could have you
Lay
all
off the
killed.
boss.
Oh my god! And that was after 9/11. He got away pretty light there.
Yeah, saying I'll get everybody killed on this plane. Ooh.
Number 3, Ziploc bags had Dom DeLuise star in their commercial, and in it he defeats the purpose of the product. In the ad, DeLuise is hovering over his refrigerator in the middle of the night, lusting after his leftovers from that evening's dinner like Gollum and his precious. By the end, Dom has decided to gobble them all up. If the point is that Ziploc bags preserve freshness, it was made absolutely moot by the fact that they're only used for a couple of hours. It seems more of an indictment on the commercial than the celebrity here, no?
Yeah.
It's not Dom's fault.
He acted the way that they wanted him to act. Number 2, manly man James Garner was the spokesman for beef. Wait, he was the spokesman for beef?
Like the meat?
Like all of beef? Then he had quadruple bypass surgery. Gardner, who spent one of the commercials throwing away the vegetables that were ruining his steak kebabs, eventually died of coronary artery disease. A diet heavy on red meat and light on vegetables can definitely contribute to clogged arteries.
I've seen commercials when pork was trying to sell itself.
Well, I do remember like the beef, it's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
But I don't remember James Garner. Also, didn't James Garner live like a really long time, though? Like, I know he died of heart disease, but wasn't he in like his 90s at that point?
Like, we all gotta go sometime.
Yeah. And number 1, Oprah posted a gushy tweet about the Surface tablet. And of course, it said, well, I'm going to read you the tweet first. Gotta say, love that Surface. Have bought 12 already for Christmas gifts. # favorite things. Posted 18 hours ago via Twitter for iPad.
I knew it! Twitter for iPad. I knew it. That's great. That's a great tweet.
For an intelligent person, that sure is a boneheaded move.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Twitter for. I think I think things like that are why they took off that thing, like what that says how it was posted.
I want a tweet from a smart toilet.
That would be amazing.
There was like a war for a while of people posting from like various crazy things.
You could maybe send a tweet from Carl.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, out of 22, some of these were pretty spectacular. Some of them didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm going to split this right down the middle with an 11.
Whoa. I'm going with 16.
I'm going to split down the middle and go with 13.
You're splitting me and Jesse down the middle, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ouch. That hurts.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to be split. It's like that zombie sneak attack record, Splitting Bitches.
Yes.
Okay, I think we got time for maybe one or two more here. Here's 17 celebrity vanity projects that imploded gloriously, also from Cracked.
Oh, yes.
This one was This was from 2019, a little bit more modern here.
I kind of hope Gwyneth Paltrow's on here somewhere.
Has her vanity project really imploded? She seems to be doing pretty
No,
well.
Her vagina-scented candles literally exploded on people.
Yeah, literally exploded, but the fact is she did sell a lot of them. I don't understand vagina-scented candle.
Or the jade egg.
I just don't get it. All right, number 17. You guys are going to understand this right from the very first two words. Kevin Spacey.
Oh, God.
It just scrolled all the way down. Kevin Spacey sang and danced to get investors for Beyond the Sea. He wrote, directed, and starred in it because his mom loved Bobby Darin. Audiences, however, did not share his passion, and the movie bombed at the box office, making less than a third of its $25 million budget. And today, people won't even watch the good Kevin Spacey movies.
Yeah.
Good.
Number 16. In 1984, Paul McCartney wrote the screenplay for and played himself in Give My Regards to Broad Street. Somehow he has zero charisma and manages to make being a rock star look dull and plodding. Also, there's a rehashed plot, flat characters, and many pointless dream sequences. It bombed hard, critically and financially. Why did McCartney make it? Because being the star of his own movie was his childhood dream.
Okay.
Well, congrats to him for pulling it off.
You did it. I mean, you didn't do it well, but you did it.
Yeah.
If you got
You're in
Beatles
there.
money, why not?
Yeah. Beatles money is like the next level up from fuck you money, you know?
Yeah.
All right. The number 15 is about Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. This film was already on Luc Besson's mind during the filming of The Fifth Element. 20 years later, Besson put $180 million of his own money into the making of the film. It was torn apart by critics and flopped so hard that it struggled to break even.
Well, I still like The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element was dope.
Yeah.
Valerian did not look very good.
Mm.
And I know it was based on like some kind of French comic book, but it just looked like nonsense to me. Number 14, Sir Patrick Stewart's lifelong dream was to play Othello, Shakespeare's famously dark-skinned lead, and in 1997 he did. He played a white Othello in an all-black cast. The director called it a photo-negative version of the story. Stewart continues to insist that actors should be free to play roles that differ from their own ethnicity or gender. I mean, I see what he's going for, but who goes to see that, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I don't know.
like I understand the idea of okay, well, Othello will be a white guy and everybody else is black. Fine, but doesn't that miss the point of the play
It does.
by a lot?
But it is Patrick Stewart, so he's still probably
Yeah.
really good in it.
Of course, he was good. I mean, he played Romeo when he was in his like 50s, and somehow that was good.
Awesome. I have not seen that.
Ian McKellen, when he was like in his 70s or 80s, did a version of Hamlet where he was
Yeah.
playing like bisexual Hamlet.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
why not? Why not?
There's some hints towards bisexual Hamlet in the play. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
Number 13, Terry Gilliam started working on The Man Who Killed Don Quixote in 1989. It took him 29 years to finish. Delays included legal disputes, natural disasters, and the deaths of 2 lead actors. It earned less at the U.S. box office than Lost in La Mancha, a documentary about Gilliam's troubled first production.
And he's a turf.
Yeah,
Is he? Oh.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Man, why do all these people suck now?
Not all of them, just most of them.
Mm.
Number 12, in 2015, Morrissey wrote a novel about a 1970s relay team that gets embroiled in black magic. What is wrong with him? Why? What?
Because why?
Yeah. The novel, List of the Lost, has phrases like bulbous salutation, meaning erection, lush houses of Betty by shut-eye snoozled in sleepland. He actually wrote that. And whoever put the pain in painting had also put the fun in funeral. Book reviewers and Morrissey fans both hated it.
I want to know why somebody had an erection. No way, I don't want to know.
And it was bulbous.
I like that snoozle line.
Yes.
Let me read that part again. Lush houses of Betty by shut-eye snoozled in sleepland.
Oh my god.
Sounds like something to see in like a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number
Something from some kind of Wonka device.
Yeah. Number 11, Heidi Montag spent nearly $2 million of her own money on her first album titled Superficial. The album, which she and her husband produced themselves, took 3 years to make. Despite boasts that it was comparable to Michael Jackson's Thriller in terms of sound and quality, Superficial was met with poor sales and bad review. No matter who you are, don't say that your record is going to be as good as Thriller before it comes out.
You gotta back up there.
Yeah. Number 10, oh my god, Shaq Fu, the 1994 video game featuring Shaquille O'Neal, was a huge failure. In 2014, O'Neal launched an Indiegogo campaign asking for $450,000 to make Shaq Fu a Legend Reborn. The game came out in 2018 and also flopped with a Metacritic score of 36.
It looked promising,
That's back
but
when
apparently...
people back things ironically and for the memes too.
Yeah.
Like another Bubsy game came out during that time.
A couple of them.
The thing about those new Bubsy games is that they're okay. They're not good games, but they're also not gloriously terrible like the old Bubsy games.
Mm-hmm.
They just sort of exist.
But okay is way better than the old ones.
That is true, but it also makes them boring, not interesting to speak about in any way, you know? Number 9, Metallica were excited to make an album with Lou Reed. They blamed the fans when it sucked. Lulu debuted to pitiful sales, selling only 1,300 copies in its first week. James Hetfield later called the fans who criticized the effort fearful people who were probably typing from their mom's basement that they still live in.
I've heard some songs from this. It is unlistenable.
I played it for you, I remember.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. There is one good song on the album.
There is?
Yes, there's one good song. It's called Junior Dad. It's about 20 minutes long, which is kind of wild. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. That should have been it. They should have released that as like an EP of just this one song that's 20 minutes long. Sell it for like $6. It would have been a big, big deal. But instead, you get 2 discs of garbage. Just absolute, like, Metallica demos that weren't good enough to be made into full songs with Lou Reed rambling about whatever the fuck he was rambling about on that album.
He just goes off into weird diatribes.
Let me bring up a lyric here, okay? And it's not going to be Metallica, you know, I am the table, you know. I'm going to bring up the first song, Brandenburg Gate. And I'm going to read for you the first verse that Lou Reed sings in it. I would cut my legs and tits off when I think of Boris Karloff and Kinski. In the dark of the moon, it made me dream of Nosferatu, trapped on the Isle of Dr. Moreau. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? And then,
yeah, that makes sense.
And then James Hetfield comes in and is going, small town girl. Small town girl.
What is happening?
It's two different songs, neither of which are good, mashed together.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
No, two wrongs make a oh hell no.
Hell to the nah.
Number 8, Will Smith came up with After Earth as a parenting metaphor. In the movie, a sci-fi soldier, played by Will Smith, guides his son, his real-life son Jaden, through a post-apocalyptic landscape. For Will Smith, it was really about him helping Jaden navigate show business. The movie got an 11% Rotten Tomatoes score and 6 Golden Raspberry nominations. Womp womp. You know what blows my mind about this is that he says it's an allegory for parenting, and proceeds to, in the movie, treat his son like shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't he like a terrible dad in that?
All right.
Well, maybe that says something about his thoughts on parenting.
That was also like Jaden Smith being on Twitter and saying really random shit.
And I know he's playing a character, though. Good for him. Let him weird out the normies. You know what I mean?
He can show up to weddings wearing a weird white Batman outfit.
Evie, you ever see that thing where they take Garfield strips and put in Jaden Smith tweets as the dialogue?
No, I've only seen Garfield without Garfield.
Garfield without Garfield is good, but Garfield with Jaden Smith tweets you got to look it up. It's amazing. Number 7, Francis Ford Coppola's 1982 musical film One from the Heart was backed by the director's own money because he wanted to focus on what he wanted to say instead of becoming Hollywood's hired gun. The film brought 6 years of financial troubles for Coppola. He likened the film to a kamikaze attack.
Ooh.
At least he admitted it.
Did it to himself.
Some very poor decisions. Like, did you know he directed that movie Jack?
Yeah.
Yes, and I've seen Jack, and let's just say Jack off.
Coppola really fell from, his glory days of doing Godfather.
Yeah. Number 6, Alexander was legendary Oliver Stone's dream project. I take umbrage with calling him legendary. But was reviled by critics and moviegoers alike. He was so committed to the flop that there are 3 versions of the movie out there because he couldn't live with the failure and kept trying new edits.
I remember that.
I don't like him though, so.
No? Does he suck?
I've never watched one of his movies that I liked.
Oh.
His best film is probably The Doors, and that's merely just kind of okay.
I don't know. I never saw Alexander. Didn't want to.
Nor should you. Mel Gibson. This is number 5. Mel Gibson worked passionately for 2 decades to make the movie The Professor and the Madman. It was a box office disaster, which didn't even recoup a third of its budget. It also got 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's a lot of things about Mel Gibson.
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, he released this right around when everybody hates him.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's sort of been trying to claw his way back, but
as a director, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Number 4, George Lucas's 2015 flop Strange Magic was one of his biggest passion projects. It's an animated musical with a story built around lyrics from Lucas's favorite songs. Those songs are about 70% of the movie. His goal was to make another Star Wars, but for girls, and he worked on the movie on and off for 15 years. It had the worst opening of any animated film ever, and got 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's impressive. Way to go, dude.
Here's the thing: he couldn't even make Star Wars without his wife making it better for him, and I guess since she wasn't around anymore to fix his boo-boos, it was never going to work. You know?
Womp womp.
Also, I'm sure girls resented that being marketed to them because Star Wars was for boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Star
yeah,
Wars is
why? Like,
for girls.
yeah,
Ugh.
come on now. I
I
agree
mean,
with you on that.
as a kid, I remember liking Star Wars specifically because it had, a princess who wasn't, simping
That
for
she
some
was a
dude.
badass, yeah.
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 I mean, the first thing she says when they rescue her, aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
She was also, like, very specific about not wanting anybody to rescue her because she
Yeah.
thought it would endanger the
Yep.
rebellion.
Yep.
Number 3, Bill Murray wanted to do a serious film. It flopped. Murray and director John Byram spent 18 months writing a film adaptation of W. Somerset Maugham's The Razor's Edge. The movie about a traumatized World War I veteran would be his first starring dramatic role. The movie was panned by critics, with Murray later admitting, "I kind of deluded myself that there would be a lot of interest. I made a big mistake."
Well, he admits it. That's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, he's since done more dramatic things that were good, but he also made Lost in Translation, and that sucked too, I'm sorry to say.
That's an overrated movie.
I thought it was just fine, but I don't want to see it again.
Yeah.
It was tedious.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Number 2, Ronaldo and Clara is a 4-hour movie created by Bob Dylan that has footage of his concerts, interviews of various singers, and vignettes based on lyrics from his songs. It was pulled from theaters when critics called it incoherent, impenetrable, self-indulgent, and virtually unwatchable.
Isn't that just Bob Dylan's music act?
Oh, shit.
I wonder if these critics had ever seen Head by the Monkees.
Monkeys. Here's the thing. He made this movie, like, concert footage. It's all about him and everything, and he calls it Ronaldo and Clara. Who are Ronaldo and Clara? Who was going to see something like that?
Hey, if you know, you know.
I don't
Some
know.
I don't
Bob
know.
Dylan deepest lore or something.
Yeah. To paraphrase what Roger Ebert said, as far as I know, I don't care.
Yeah.
Number 1, Sylvester Stallone's 40s era Rocky rehash Paradise Alley was based on his memories of growing up in Hell's Kitchen. Stallone wrote, directed, and starred in it, and even sang the theme song badly. So when it tanked at the box office, he took it as a personal blow.
You know what would have helped is if he got Frank Stallone to sing it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was going to make the Frank Stallone joke. You totally beat me to it. I remember seeing him on Saturday Night Live once, and he was pretty good. And he's doing this thing where he's like, I don't know, he's talking to his girlfriend in the sketch, and he goes, "Come on, we'll go to New York City, we'll see Frank." And she goes, "Sinatra?" He goes, "No, Stallone, he's just as good." Out of 17, what are we thinking here? I mean,
A lot of these, many of these,
Yeah.
pretty on
Yeah.
par, on board with. Yeah.
I don't have any issues with any of this. I think I got to give it a full 17, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, Yeah, 17.
I have no notes.
Perfect.
Did you just try to do like the Street Fighter 2 voice?
Kind of.
Perfect. Flawless victory. All right. Okay, so I do have other lists, but most of them are really long. So I think we're going to call it a day, guys.
All right.
So that was a lot of fun. Thank you for filling in, EB. You didn't have to, of course, but thank you for doing that for us.
Always wonderful with you
yeah.
here.
Thank you.
The GOAT.
You know, and we hope that Elisa's feeling better. I know what it's like to have a migraine that just puts you out of the game, you know, where you're just like, nope, denied. I just need to medicate and not, you know, and you don't want to look at a screen when you have a bad migraine. It's too much light.
Just nope out of life and just sleep.
Exactly, if you can.
Yeah,
if you can. So we'll go over the schedule and then we'll do a raid, guys. Don't go anywhere just yet. Please stick around through the raid. Here's what's going on. So tomorrow afternoon we're gonna be finishing up the last bit of Quake on Steam, and we'll also be starting the expansion content. There's a lot of expansion stuff that was added to the Steam version of Quake. Most of which I haven't played at all, so that's going to be really fun to play, especially since last week's Quake stream I had a lot of fun. Despite all the internet issues, I can say I haven't dropped a single frame today, so that is officially 3 days in a row of no internet issues. So I'm going to say this ordeal is now over. Saturday night, we'll be doing more Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected, which is also expansion content for Definitive Edition, which is all new to me. It's not super long, but I am enjoying it. Sunday night, I don't have a scene. I know it says Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Pretend it does not. We're going to be starting Castlevania Lament of Innocence on the PlayStation 2. Monday afternoon, more of JoJo's Bizarre... Well, the rest of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because I think we only have like 3 characters left to try. We'll look into if there's any secret characters, and then we're going to start... what was it? Something on the PlayStation. Oh, Battle Arena Toshinden 4 on PlayStation. Tuesday night, you know how we do on Tampon Tuesday. We're going to be returning with more of Hollow Knight for Steam. Wednesday afternoon, probably the rest of Pokemon Black version's post-game content. That's on the DS. And then Thursday night, a week from today, we're going to be recording YouTube videos, which is almost certainly going to be... No, not Dragon Quest 1. Not that. Let me hide that. That's it is Dragon Quest, but it's not that game. I'm ill-prepared here. Dragon Quest Builders, unless I finish it, I am near the end of it. In which case I'll let you guys know on Discord what it's going to be. But we're going to be recording YouTube videos. So anyway, guys, let's head over here. And who's on that we could raid? Let's see. Baba Booey, who's on? We got Atsumori, we got Hungry Goria, we got Menagerie, we got Amethyst Corn. Oh, this is an okay. What do you guys think? Should we go to Atsumori, who's playing the messenger, or Amethyst Corn, who is still trying to trudge her way through Super Lesbian Animal RPG?
Oh, that's a great name for a game.
Yeah, she's been enjoying. It's like an RPG Maker game, but she has been enjoying it. It's tough because I Amethyst, I've rated her a bunch of times recently, but Atsumori's playing. I haven't rated him that recently, and the Messenger is.
I want it so bad.
Let's do that. Let's rate him. I have rated Amethyst a bunch recently. I just rated her the other day. All right, so he's playing the Messenger. I don't know how far in the game he is, so I don't know if he's. Apparently, he's died 141 times.
Yep.
So he's probably pretty far in the game, I would imagine. Oh yeah, he's in the second half where it's opened up. All right, let's do this. Raid Atsumori Kofuhara. What is this trailer? Abigail? That's some horror movie. Some little girl killing people.
It's all right. Megan all over again.
Right.
I got a message for you, Pally. It says... Eat it, Joe's.
Drink more Ovaltine.
Oh, wait, that's even better. Wait.
Yes.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. You got to say it like Charles Bronson. I got a message for you, Pelly. It says, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. All right, guys. There's your raid message thingy. Copy that, paste it as we head into Atsumori's stream. He is playing The Messenger, which is a fantastic game. I have the sequel, which is not anything like the original, that I gotta play sometime. But let's head over there. I'll see you guys over there. I'll see you guys on Discord. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Quake, you know. And just around general. Here we go. Covering the camera, hitting right now. Here we go.